Welcome back, everyone, to the PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Europe 2021. It is the final day of action here to find out which team will be taking home their chunk of the $42,000. And obviously that depends on how teams do, how much money they lose, and of course how much you can retain in your own bank account. And if you're not understanding what I'm saying, don't worry, we'll talk about it a little bit later on. I'm Jason Kappen, your host, joined by two lovely gentlemen. I got Imperium to my left-hand side, joined by Professor Tarzan as well at the very end. Gentlemen, how are you doing today, Tarzan?
I'm doing great. I mean, I can't wait for more action. We talked about a huge topic yesterday towards the end, right? Through the interview, you need to have a lot of fun. That helps you and helps the team grow. So more fun, more kills today. I just can't wait to see it.
More kills, more fun. That's the best way to go, right, Imperium?
Yeah, but I'm also going to go down the route of there's one spot available for that chunk of the prize pool, right? The Squid-esque game bank of money. First place, right? And yeah, okay, you can have fun, but you're not going to get there with just fun. You need the focus, you need the determination, and you need to have consistency with these results. Big kills, big performances. I want to see the teams really fighting for it.
Yeah, and we'll obviously get to jump into that in just a few moments of time. But if you guys missed on yesterday, if you don't know exactly what we're talking about when it comes to this format, why don't we take a look into this, and then we'll come back to actually bring you this first match of the day.
The best European teams are ready to prove who's worthy of the Champions title of PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Europe. The tournament will be held for 3 days from November 19th till November 21st. During these 3 days, 16 teams will battle for the first place and a hefty chunk of the prize pool of $42,000. Each team has its own bank. At the start, it contains $2,500. The more they fail, the less they get. If players cannot get more than 6 kills per team, they lose $20 to $50. If a team takes a place between 14th and 16th, it loses $50 to $100. In a match, a team cannot lose more than $150. All lost funds will go to the champion of the tournament. Join the stream and show your support in chat. See you on the battlegrounds.
Only a couple of actual compounds you can go ahead and they should be playable, but it's going to be hard. Oh, nice actual hold coming through from Surreal Esports. Jekyll knew that there was in the entirety of next Rüya still inside Pachinki and knew exactly when to strike. Yekta, though, not going to be happy that Kuder ended up getting knocked, so try to get that solo taken out. Oh my goodness!
The nade is going to be Sen, takes the damage. I mean, Yekta takes the damage, but now Yekta's going to find Kudur at the same time with a nade as well. But Jekyll, he's still up and running, going to be trying to flush him down.
Big is going to come up from behind. Unique, they're trying to push forward because they realize that they can have this space to push forward and take advantage of it. They kind of unfortunately have to split their focus, but it's insane. Nate takes on another member of Unique. There's only one member for Unique left. And
Does Sabian have more utilities, can catch or somebody else maybe help out with the situation. Big also, they have a 3-man stack remaining still in the hospital, so that is definitely a large threat. Sabian
trying to hide behind some vehicles. They at least have a couple more teammates around, but gotta go ahead and kind of turn this around. It's a 2v4. That nade on Rolkus, unfortunately not quite close enough to go ahead and go for the hit, but they does spot out Lin, and there we go. One goes down for Unicorns of Love.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fourth party from the VP. I mean, we already had the other two teams fighting here. Yeah, it seems that the other players, they will not let it go, so they still want to do something about it, as Exquisite Decode will be taken down by Unique.
For Virtus.pro here, the other teammate a little bit further behind, trying to provide a little bit more. Medic actually goes down.
Nice setup on the middle of the circle. Also, we saw Big going all the way towards the Alpha Island as well, so some teams, they have left from the southern side and just circled the whole Paradise circle, Paradise area, more or less. Wolf is going to be getting one player down first, going to find Solon. they don't get the cover from the northern side either, because now we will have to move. Mitch can bring those nades straight towards Kitsu. Is going to be connecting, so Kitsu's fall down. Kitsu and Matic both, which are inside, and Tixi out of the zone. He's the last guy, 1 versus 3. Is there anything he can do? He's going to be spraying the bullets. He will try to find the magical deagle. The molly is going to be coming. It's going to be very early to call, but I think there's definitely a chance for it. Meanwhile, Exquisite Decode, they are going towards the Wizard Tower. Fireflux going to be hiding there. We can see Elisio try to go for the flank.
Nice.
We can see Elisio fighting Owner with that nade as well. Well, that's going to be one more knock, and they will just try to push that down. They will spot down Owner from the second floor.
Exactly, they can't really go anywhere. It's just Razy and Wolf together. But there we go. It looks like one of them, unfortunately, is going to be pushing alone.
They will go for the revival. No, they will go for the ropes. They will go for the revivals as well. And Vito wants to find more, tries to seek the enemies. The spray will be coming, but it's going to be Arcane. The other solo is going to find Vito and saves the Sirens as Arcane wants to get those kills himself. And there we go. It's going to be 2 versus 1. Arcane still standing there. We can see Arcane trying to do everything in his power to find the players, but there's going to be so many shots coming toward.
No way, Arcane now choosing the perfect time to go on ahead and strike, but there we go. Eliminated.
Even those quick little recaps don't do justice to how those matches went yesterday, so make sure if you have some time, go back and watch them. But of course, not right now, because we have our final 4 matches to come up today. Gentlemen, this is going to be exciting, actually. I'm really curious to see who's going to come out on top. I'm really curious to see if a team from the bottom can actually rise to the ranks enough here to potentially take away that position, considering you could still get 100+ points in the final round of the day. So I really don't know what to expect here, but as Tarzan said, I'm gonna let you follow up on this. Teams are probably gonna be having some fun.
They're going to be having some fun, and I think there are certain teams who found their way through yesterday. Like, the bounce back can be very, very strong. I mean, it's not exactly bounce back in a way. I mean, Papara Supermassive plays went from 8th place to 3rd, but they just started the day the same way, right? With the chicken dinner first, and slowly creep their way in and put the work through.
Yeah, for sure. And Big had a big day winning out in Sanhok with some fantastic rotations, positioning, especially towards the late game, and third-partying that fight in Pine and taking out Unicorns of Love, and they jumped up to the same amount of points. And of course, Unique, Jason, they've showed their strength with the consistency, so it's only right that they're in first. But in the second half of the standings, S2G, next Rüya, they're close to the top half, but they need to get a little bit more.
I mean, Nextria definitely did step up yesterday. We'll give them credit for that, as well as Exquisite Decode. We had quite a few teams at the bottom of the table as they're slowly looking to climb forward. And speaking of slipping down, I mean, we also have to shout out Navi there. They've fallen from, I think it was 1st place at the start of the day, down to 7th, 6th place. But as you can see here, this is the map order. This is the schedule for what's coming up today. We're starting things off, of course, on Erangel, heading over to Miramar, Sanhok, and Erangel Arcane. If you don't know what that is, well, it's currently live in PUBG Mobile. It's with Mirror World, and you're not going to want to miss this one because it is ridiculous. And you're going to see some Jace, you're going to see some Vibe, some Jinx, maybe some Caitlyn, though I'm not favoring Caitlyn that much. She looks like she's not really doing that well, to be honest. But it's going to be a crazy finish, this entire event. And speaking of crazy finishes, let's take a quick check-in to the balances that these teams do have. Remember, every team started out on $2,500, and depending on how you do, for instance, if you finish 14th through 16th place, you lose some money. If you don't have enough kills in a match, you lose some money. If you meet those requirements, you don't lose anything, which is why we're seeing Bigs only have lost $60 overall in 8 matches. And all this money that they do lose goes towards the total prize pool for the winning team, the champion.
And that's where Big could possibly afford to take a couple of extra risks at the risk of losing a little bit extra money. If the reward is grabbing the points needed to get up on first, especially with that prize pool, it's already at that 6+ K mark. It's only going to build from there.
Yeah, it's going to build from there. By the way, if you guys have noticed in the stadium, again, if you haven't joined us the last 2 days, you can actually get yourself in the stadium as long as you guys are being active in chat. We saw Maxman there quite a few times, and I'm sure his ears are ringing from the amount of times we screamed out his name. So make sure you guys are active in chat and get your avatar put up here into our stadium. In the meantime, we're getting things ready for that first match of the day. We're going to head to a quick little break here, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, it's the kickoff here of our final day of the PMSC.
Welcome to PUBG Mobile Masterclass. Today, we will take a look at the game strategy from real professionals. Let's take a look at one of the best Spanish teams and what they managed to show at the PMPL Season 2 Finals. Vodafone Giants. The team showed a well-coordinated play on the first day of the PMPL Finals. On any map, you should always have a hefty amount of smoke grenades. This way, if your teammate gets knocked down, you can deploy enough smoke grenades to help you save him. While you're saving your teammate, you also have to give orders to other teammates to protect you. Therefore, when your team is safe and back together, you'll be able to quickly rotate to another position. On Sanhok, Vodafone Giants showed us how to strategically spot enemies. One of the players needs to get on a fast vehicle, like a buggy, and check the place in such a way that the enemies would not be able to knock him out of the vehicle. This way you can understand whether there is a threat or not. Vodafone Giants is a world-class team that always shows sophisticated strategy and tactics. That's it for now. Join our stream and find out more at PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Europe. See you on the battlegrounds.
All right, we're about to head into that first match today, but before we get to that, I want to remind you guys about a special awards going on, the Esports Awards, where PMGC, the PUBG Mobile Global Championship 2020, was nominated as the best esport event of the year, and it was the only mobile event nominated throughout the year. So make sure you guys head over to thegameawards.com and get your votes in for PMGC 2020. And don't forget, PMGC 2021 kicks off in 9 days. I can't believe the best teams in the world. Imperium! I'm talking here! No, I'm just kidding. The best teams in the world go head-to-head in the West and East Conference to see who wins out in the $6 million prize pool. I've never yelled like that on broadcast, Imperium, so at least you can take that one, put it as a little award on your jersey, your shirt, whatever you want to say. Maybe tattoo it onto your arms, who knows? But it's going to be exciting to see PMGC 2021. It's also exciting to see what's all happening today, gentlemen. We've seen our maps. We know what's going to be happening. We also have to get into our predictions in a few moments' time. And let's be honest, our predictions have been pretty damn bad.
I'm gonna blame the volatility of the format, and I'm gonna blame Tarzan. That's all I can go on, really.
It's fine.
That's it.
I can take one for you. And you know what? I almost want to start predicting already. Like, it's just hard to track. Some of these teams been really disappointing, as we have to talk about some of these big teams in CIS. You talked about Na'Vi. I have to mention Major Pride. Like, I hyped them up so much towards the end of day one as well, and they're not showing it. I really want them to bounce back. I can't really put money on them.
Well, let's find out how the community can vote. Remember, if you guys are correct, if you beat us, which seems to be after yesterday a pretty damn sure thing, Maxman, I see him again.
Max!
Then you have a code pop up in the following game that you can use to redeem for special goodies. So this is how you actually participate, by typing one of these hashtags. For instance, for Unicorns Love, hashtag UOL in the chat, and get your votes in if the community is correct. Like we said, well, if you beat us, then you get prizes, but you have to beat us. So let's get our predictions in. Imperium, I'm gonna throw it over to you off the bat. What do you got for me?
Well, I've got to go for the easy choice when you look at the trend that's been happening across the day so far. Hashtag SMB Papara. Supermassive Blaze won the first game in the first 2 days. Will they do 3 times in a row?
Okay, smart charge. That's what I was going to go for as well. Tarzan, what about you?
Bastard, I was going to go for the same thing as well. But you know what? It's fine. I can pick
Let's
another
wait.
very
So
good
let's
choice.
do it. What if all three of us go Supermassive Blaze? There's no way the community can beat us. However, if we're wrong, then the community pretty much.
We can't put all our eggs in one basket, can we?
Can we?
Well, it depends. How much do you want to beat the community?
I've done that with Max before. I believe we've got like all 3 points when we've done that, you know, at some point. But yeah, you know what? I do want to split our bets. So let's not go too crazy first. I'm going hashtag unique with this one. I mean, the top team so far. Hey, but you gotta love them, right? The style that they played would work very well in the usual format that we're used to, but as well as here, like the balance between placement points, kill points, aggression through all the phases, you gotta love that.
Okay, I'll go Konina Power then, because you both took exactly what I was gonna do. I mean, we're keeping it. I guess 2 of us are keeping it CIS. We obviously got the Turkish team in there as well. So we got our predictions in. Hopefully you guys at home got your predictions in, because we are tallying them up behind the scenes to figure out who the top 3 teams were. But honestly, as you said, Imperium, it's completely true. It is really hard to predict correctly because there's so much action happening. We haven't explained it just yet, but why we're saying there's so much action happening in the beginning, if you haven't been watching, is because kill points are weighted so heavily in the beginning of the game. The default kill point, 3 points. But before zone 2, 6 points, and before zone 3, between 2 and 3, 4 points. And then if you get the final kill on a squad, you get 5. We've seen teams get, what, like over 100 points in kill points? At least over 70? Yeah. Like, it is ridiculous. So teams are just not holding back. They are constantly fighting, constantly being aggro in the beginning. That's why it's so hard to predict.
It is. Of course, the format is to promote a massive level of aggression right off the bat. Hot drops here, hot drops there, basically nearly hunting teams down. So we've seen situations, right, guys, where we're 2 circles in when we have 30 to 35 players left. That's not a bad thing, of course. It's every man, woman, and child for themselves, and these teams have got to kind of step up and adapt to it. But that's a big component of why it makes these games pretty volatile, Tarzan.
You know what? I actually have a school of thought here. I know they want kill points early game, but so far they've been so tunneled into hot dropping. There's actually one style that can translate very good onto the global stage, is to look at rotation patterns for the first phase or 2. We don't fight them in the city, just fight them 2 minutes later when they rotate out. So that is actually one thing that has been severely underutilized that I want to see so much more.
And that's what I think Team Unique have done very well. Yes, they've had a couple of hot drop fights with Exquisite Decode, but outside of that, again, they'll put themselves in positions that is to an extent a circle or 2 ahead, so they're able to fight against teams who are broken, beaten, and bruised coming into the next circles, Jason. So I think what Tarzan said is pretty fair.
I think we had a Sanhok game yesterday where we had, I think, like 4 or 5 teams with just 1 player left alive. And there was like 1 team with like 3 or 4. I think it was maybe big in that one. It was insane. And honestly, we can't really tell you how the maps are going to play out except a lot of action in the beginning. But one thing we can tell you is your predictions. Let's see what the community has voted for of who they think is going to win. And I'm assuming we're going to see some Supermassive Blaze in there. Okay, Navi, Unicorns love Konina Power. All right, so I kind of screwed us. Well, I kind of screwed us here because I'm the only one that has a prediction the community voted for. But that means there are chances for you two to win for us.
But that's good, because if you can't beat the community, at least equaling the community is also a positive thing, so he cancels that out. So in my eyes, you picking the same as one of the community votes isn't really a bad thing.
Well, we're going to find out. I mean, I'm feeling confident Konina Power. They did slip a little bit yesterday, but hey, they're going to bounce back. They're going to redeem themselves from the European regional where they didn't really perform, unfortunately. But I'm excited to see how this one's going to go. Again, it's the final day. I'm wondering if we're going to see any change in style. You know, Tarzan, I'm going to throw this to you, and it's really hard to predict, but do you think we're just going to see the same thing for the last few days? Or just teams constantly fighting in the beginning? Or do you think teams going to play a little bit more passive considering it's the last day?
They will fight. They'll fight in the Pubg, Pachinki, and around the Eastern Bridge, and I don't think it was going to change.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick off the first match here of our final day of action at the PMSC Europe 2021. So let's throw it to our commentators of Copter and Span Cargo.
And it's time for the match number 9. We are on the skies coming straight above Severny heading towards Primorsk area. So it's going to be a western plane as we can see. We have seen similar planes happening yesterday as well. I think we had a quite much the same plane on Erangel as well. So it shouldn't be a huge issue for the teams. And of course, we might expect to have some hot drop action just like we had yesterday as well. Because do remember that the first circle before it's going to be closing, we do have 6 points per kill. So that's going to, of course, be putting the teams to fighting with each other's. 2 teams seems to be at least dropping around the Severny area. But it's not just only me. We also do have lovely Span Cargo. Welcome.
I'm really excited to have today happen. I mean, we heard everybody on the analyst desk kind of talk about the teams, who they're expecting to kind of show up today. And, you know, I don't really know what to expect. We only have 4 more games. The last one, of course, being the Erangel Arcane mod. And, oh man, I'm just excited to see how these teams are going to be able to change up their playstyle today. Of course, I wouldn't be surprised if we still continue to see some hot drops every single match because those 6 points are just so lucrative. You know, everybody wants those. 6 points is nothing to scoff at because the usual amount is 3. So we'll have to wait and see what everybody else is doing here. It's already starting off with a little bit of a hot drop here. And it looks like Frozen's kind of stuck with 2 members of Konina Power. But also, before this gets started, remember to support your creative expression without limits with Xiaomi's 11T's Cinemagic Power. Looking in the bottom right corner, they're just absolutely beautiful phone.
Definitely. Frozen completely alone from next Rüya. We have 2 players from Konina Power, Teague and Gunzo. They are kind of like looting the building and only pistol in Frozen's hand. Can we actually get a pistol kill? No. At least he's going to try, but going to be missing those shots. We'll go for the second floor and wants to move aggressively towards the first floor as the guys will be getting inside. Wants to hide here actually from the others. No, he actually wants to get some loot. Doesn't want to hide. And we can see Konina Power. They're still circling around the building, but they don't want to enter yet. But now they're going to be starting to dance around the building. We can see Gonzo already on the garage. Teague trying to nade the second floor. Frozen's going to be hiding on the rooftops. Then it's not going to be doing any of the damage. They will move all the way to the second floor. And Frozen are still only with a pistol. And they are coming. And can he get something down? No. Unfortunately, Gonzo with a UT gets the damage. And that's 1 player down.
Wow, and Tiki just ran up there with a melee weapon, just totally ready to go on ahead and make that 2v1 happen. The rest of the teammates a little bit too far away. But of course, let's go on ahead and redeem this code really quickly, y'all. Go in-game, redeem this code for an in-game reward. It is BUBRZIZPFC. Put it in-game, get that in-game reward. But of course, it looks like there's fighting elsewhere as well. Virtus.pro getting in a big fight. Let's see what Skills is going to be able to do here, potentially save his down teammate.
Yeah, we can see Michi being knocked down from Conqueror. We have 2 players still on the scene. Actually, Michi has been revived. Now Reeves and Vito on the scene as well. Skills is going to be hiding here on the second floor of the Wizard Tower as Conqueror kind of like trying to build the troops. So they have made some space around them. Virtus.pro, they have lost 2, and there's going to be 1 more falling down. We can see Reeves actually fighting Desperate with a machine gun from the distance, and only 1 player standing from Virtus.pro because Skills is just leaving from the scene. He's the last guy. So 3 guys has fallen for Virtus.pro, and there's no saving for the member who's knocked down currently. So it's going to be just 1 player remaining when he's going to be leaving from the scene. So that's Virtus.pro now losing 3 members right away. And of course, Conqueror getting those very important 18 points in total, but they don't get the extra points from flushing down the last player because he's going to be running away.
They were chasing him a tiny bit, but it looks like now they're finally turning around. Doesn't want to entirely chase that solo all the way further inside of this zone. By the way, pulled all the way down into the southeastern side. Nobody's down there in Farm Milta area. Everybody else was dropped elsewhere because it was such a western plane. So the majority of people are going to be having to be forced to make a big rotation on this one. Of course, after these early fights, going ahead and finish up. So yeah, it also looks like, unfortunately for Vodafone Giants, they also only have 1 person left, and that is going to be Puppy, of course, versus Surreal Esports. Not a good space to be in, and ooh, that nade almost took him down. He was just scooted back enough so that he doesn't get taken down completely, but this one could be it. Oh, but he got the heal off.
Yeah, it's a smoke, by the way, as well.
Yeah, I was like, I realized immediately.
What is going on here? Konina Power, they will find next Rüya. They're going to be taken down as a whole. Konina Power, they are fallen down. Next Rüya flushes the team, gets 2 extra points as well. So that's the whole team falling down. The first team is down. Pop is going to be trying to escape from the garage building. And there we have Jet Gill. They're going to be trying to hunt him down, gets the damage. And there we go. That's going to be Poppy take it down as well. So Vodafone Giants, they have been eliminated as well. So a lot of points for these teams. And one thing that I have to mention, the Virtus.pro player who actually escaped from the situation, if somebody will find him down. I mean, they will get 6 points from the kill, but they will also get that extra 5 because it's the last member. So by one solo kill, 11 points. That's a lot of points from just one kill.
Yeah, so he's literally going to be a little bit of a gold mine, whoever runs into him. And I'd also like to point out, Konina Power going on ahead and fighting against Next Rüya, that was the team that they got an early kill, like the very first fight that we watched. So that's very unfortunate that it went that way. Oh yeah, this is the replay we wanted to see. What happened here? Wow, what? Konina Power just slammed in there and what? Okay.
Yeah, that's something that I could call a swipe, team swipe. But yeah, but Na'Vi, I mean, Na'Vi, we haven't spoke about Na'Vi that much. They have been very consistently dropping on George balls, or they haven't adjusted strategies. They don't want to go for the hot drops. They have been on the Northern George ball every time when they have just had a chance. And the same applies here as well. So they're still staying on the Northern George ball, and yeah, they're going to stay there for now. So they haven't really adjusted the gaming style at all. Just like some other teams, they're actually going for the kills. They're just playing normally, but they still have been able to get some chicken dinners. They have been able to get some nice kills in the end. So, but they're not so high on the scoreboard as many others or the viewers would be expecting. So that is definitely kind of like the outcome of not adjusting the playing style. And of course, a major pride on the southern side of them as well. S2G, they are moving away towards the circle slowly but steadily. Here on the western side of the circle. But yeah, they will not find enemies yet. So the closest team is actually Surreal Gaming, who's currently in Pubg, but I don't think that they're going to be heading on that direction.
Yeah, no, they're going to go ahead and get moved out of there. It also looks like Pride, they have a ways to go. They're still all the way up here in crates. They have Na'Vi, of course, right above them to the northern side. I agree with what you said about them. I'm kind of wondering if maybe they're just playing the game as they usually would, kind of taking this as an opportunity for practice for their future tournament. But I don't know. I'm also a little bit surprised that they wouldn't try to be higher up on that leaderboard. Don't get me wrong, their location where they are right now in 6th place isn't anything to really scoff at, especially with the amount of kill points, placing points that they're able to go ahead and grab. But it definitely isn't in tune with what the current point system is, which I'm not surprised about. Na'Vi, they usually go on ahead and stay pretty far away to the northwestern side and only come into the circle pretty later on. So that usually means that they aren't really participating in the 6.4 point higher point kill rate at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, the score system is definitely different, and some teams who are heading towards the PMGC, for example, they might not want to adjust the gaming style at this point, so they're just taking this as practice towards the PMGC, and they don't want to change the playing style. I think that's what's going on with Na'Vi. They want to keep their game. They have been very successful with that gaming style on the other tournaments with the normal point system, so maybe they just want to stick with it and don't change it, that they don't do any, like, accidental changes which might be impacting the performance on the PMGC as well. Anyway, meanwhile, we can see plays of Papara, Supermassive plays as the people want to call it. They're hiding here on the buildings. We can see Team Uni getting the next building, so we can see Catch here on the 2nd floor. And we have seen Catch getting so much damage, so many kills on the pass. So this is definitely, even though there's a full team around him, he's a very dangerous player when he's nearby. So Frozen and the other guys, they'll have to be very careful. And of course, the other players from the Blaze, they are on the scene as well. So it's not just Catch, it's a whole team. But Catch could be the guy who actually starts the fighting, and then the others might be joining in.
Yeah, Kesha, he's definitely a scary person, usually the MVP, but of course, Savian gonna go on ahead and start off getting the knock, the flush onto Frozen, but Toffee's as well gonna go ahead and get a little bit of a trade onto Tron, a little bit of damage, kind of dissuading them from coming closer, but of course, Supermassive Blaze probably gonna continue to be pushing Savian, for example, just launching himself up onto the Wizard Tower to try and help out his teammate. They clearly want this compound, and taking a look at the circle, I mean, I feel like there's an obvious reason why. This is a good place to be.
Yeah, definitely. And it was Ketch who actually started that fight, and he got 1 kill. So now Team Unique with 3 guys, they cannot save the one. He's already flushed down. Blaze still having all the 4 players. Unique also Flop gonna find the fire Flux, and they will go right next to each other. He's gonna be jumping out of the vehicle. This is gonna be coming on the backside of Soulless, but no, he will be getting away. We can see Tixi actually falling down. Taylor GK first gonna be taken down by Owner, and Yen is gonna find Tixi in the end. So that's gonna be 1 player falling down. GK first got a knockdown. Blaze and Team Unique situation still going on, and actually they have moved to the same building, so we can see John trying to find something out of the situation. We can see 1 player from the Unique falling down. There we go. It's going to be Rock. He's finding Razy on the background as Kurosera tries to find the stairway. We do have Mind hiding on the 1st floor. There we go. The flush is going to happen. And Kurosera, Team Unique, they are down.
Wow, I mean, Team Unique, also a really good team. So that was actually a really difficult fight to go ahead and watch. But of course, back to Fireflux and Unicorns of Love. Unicorns of Love, unfortunately, going to be falling short. Fireflux, currently the second place team, just a little bit too strong in that situation. Definitely had the little bit of a better location for that fight as well, being up on top of the mountain. And I was wondering if this was going to happen because Pride, they were in crates, Navi was to the north. I was wondering if they were going to end up running into each other on their rotation. And it looks like, yes, they are.
Yeah, I mean, Navi, they lost two. So Kitsune and Tixi, they were taken down. Meanwhile, as we were watching the other fight happening on the garage building. So yes, Navi has lost two members. I think Major Pride is still with the performance stack, so they have the whole team. So Navi has taken the losses. Major Pride hasn't taken the losses. And here on the southern side, we can see Conqueror now spotting on S2G going for the Shark Fin compound. Kelsey is going to be spotting them as well. And if somebody's wondering why this place is called the Shark Fin, please turn the map upside down, then you'll see clearly why it's called the Shark Fin compound. But yeah, S2G just taking the place here. Conquer, they're quite far away, so I don't think that they can much actually build from there unless they want to move on a closer distance. But Navi, meanwhile, in trouble, trying to get away from the northern side on the southern side, and we can see a Major Part trying to hold that situation. They'll be fighting with the Exquisite Decode.
Ooh. Ooh, and now Exquisite Decode, yeah, some really nice knocks onto two of the members of Big there. First the nade and the shots, and now let's see what else they're going to be doing, because unfortunately some of them going down. It looks like only Daddy with the full HP, Will trying to heal on up, the other teammate currently down, but at least they're all grouped together to try and take down the rest of Big. It's only two of them left as well. It's seeing they're tossing the nades towards the rock. The thing is that they need to throw it a little bit further. They're at the tree behind it, so they can't quite reach. The rest is starting to come through. Goldie is bringing them back, but of course that means Exquisite Decode is going to start the push. Mishi being the one in the front to try and do the cover, protect the teammates. He will be able to take down one. Unfortunately, doesn't quite get Will as well, so they're still going to be alive. Mishi's still holding strong in the front line though.
Yeah, the nade is going to be... Oh, what a nade coming from Mishi. That's the end of Exquisite Decode. Right on the money, getting the last guys down. That's how you throw a nade.
That was amazing. He knew exactly where he was on that little cliffside. Ended that immediately. Perfect timing for the teammates. Meanwhile, S2G, we knew that they were in this compound. They ended up losing Timber a bit ago, and it looks like, Conquer, they want to go ahead and take the fight. They know that they have at least one man up, but it looks like they're going to turn that around immediately, getting the first knock onto them. So it's now back to a 3v3. Vito actually getting super low as well, but at least he's able to hold on. And, oh man, this is the perfect opportunity to just toss an aid right in that shack right there.
Yeah, there we, oh, it's gonna bounce out somewhere from someplace else, actually in the same room, I guess. It kind of like backfired, definitely, so didn't get the nade on the shack, unfortunately. It would have been at least like forcing the player out of that place. A second nade, that's gonna be going inside, I think, but Kelsey's gonna be still staying alive, so it doesn't do enough damage, goes down to 15 HP, but that's not enough. And now we can see a third party happening, so Fireflux, they're gonna be joining the fight as well. Solar's gonna be spotting now Vito from the beach line. We can see Silas trying to defend it from the window of the building, and Solar's just trying to find that angle, finds Vito, gets just spray on point. That's me. Vito falling down. Soulless gets at least one.
I'm not surprised to see this whatsoever. Fireflux Esports, they're definitely an aggressive team, and hearing a fight happening in a compound, it's just, you want to go ahead and third party this. They'll have the advantage. They know the other team is kind of stuck, so they can just go ahead, come in here and see what they can clean up. Unfortunately, though, I do think the fight wasn't as far as they potentially needed it to be. Oh, Owner almost taking himself out with the nade there, but it looks like they'll be able to continue to try and survey this and see if they can take down these two teams. Also, we saw it pop up on the top of the screen. Looks like Navi actually went on ahead and fell.
Yeah, on the small screen we can see what happened. Actually, it was the Big who was coming towards them, and the first player was taken down, and the second one as well. A little bit later we can see the low HP player right there on the small screen. But yeah, they will definitely get those kills. So Big, they have just surrounded Navi on the small screen, and there you can see how they fell down. But yeah, well, wasn't so lucky game for them. I mean, their first fight with the Major Pride, and then they found Big as well from the inside of the circle, so not the easy situation around. It's actually next Rüya on the small screen currently with the Big fighting, so it's completely wrong information that I was just giving you about the small screen.
Yeah, it's next Rüya. This is a fight happening at the same time further up to the northern side, but it looks like next Rüya is just going to be able to get out of there, at least one of them. Meanwhile, this fight is going to continue. A little bit interesting, the Fireflux decided to kind of leave this, instead going on ahead and focusing on Virtus.pro. Looks like they knew that that fight happening on Shark Fin wasn't progressed enough for them to go on ahead and participate in it, so they're just going to go on ahead and focus on grabbing something inside of the zone. Unfortunately for Skills, though, last one up for Virtus.pro, it's going to be a little bit difficult trying to take on this fight, but at least he's able to dodge all of these nades for now. This one's not going to do damage because he's just inside of the just inside the stairwell. There you go, a little bit more damage. He's below half HP. He knows he needs to heal as fast as possible, but it's definitely a dangerous situation to be in as Fireflux probably getting ready for the push.
Yeah, that's the 8-point kill now. So it's not 11 anymore, but still 8 points if you kill that guy. It's going to be 3 plus 5. So Skills just has to, of course, stay alive if he wants to keep the team still on the play. But I mean, there's going to be so many players from Fireflux on the scene. So I don't think that he can actually get away. But he tries to do everything he can. Tries to nade the stairway. They're kind of like trying to make sure that the guys will not get on the second floor. Conqueror's going to be taken down at the same time on the Shark Fin compound. So S2G will finish that fight. And Skills just putting those nades down. The guys are still on the first floor. How many nades he actually has? Same is going to fall down at the same time because he plays on getting 7. And the Fireflux, they will find Virtus.pro in the end. So the player has fallen down, and that's 8 points for Fireflux.
Huge amount of points, yeah. Fireflux also just inside zone. Definitely the better place to be in compared to Shark Fin, where they ended up being taken out. You can see that Pride having a little bit of a difficult time getting up the rest of their teammates to get inside zone. Unfortunately for Yen, Nomi's not going to be able to get their res onto him because the zone is just too much damage. So it looks like they're just going to continue as a 3-man. And oh, it looks like 7. You can see how he's trying to take down Conqueror here. Nice knock with the nade. Beautiful knock with the shots. Just one more left, and then the push came through. That was a 3v1. I didn't realize that he wiped it all by himself. Unfortunately, too low to be able to continue in the match.
Yeah, I mean, great performance from 7, definitely. I mean, getting 3 guys down, and it's not just the guys just came with the one spray, you can wipe them all. I mean, he actually made 3 individual plays for those guys, and he managed to get them down, so definitely a great job. And we saw Conqueror dropping on the kill feed earlier, so that was a replay from that situation. But definitely a very nice performance. Meanwhile, 7 teams, 22 players alive. We can see big and major Pride here on the farm area. Circle has been shifting towards the Multa, so it's these guys are staying on the western side of the circle. We can see also other teams kind of like building there more on the southern side. So Surreal Esports, Fireflux, something might happen between those guys. So it's going to be here in the vehicles. So Falcon, the spray should be coming. Yeah, the 4-time scope from the M4 immediately opens fire. This is going to be spotted down by Peace Hub as well. So the couple of the shots will land towards the players, but doesn't deal enough damage, unfortunately. We can see the Goddess Sirens just staying there in Milta. By the way, 4-person stack still remaining in Milta for them. And Blaze on the northern side of them. Next, Rüya has 1 player quite far away in the north, so still inside of the zone. So it's not doing the heal strat on the blue, but quite far away, and just going to be picking up a vehicle and arriving at the scene as well.
Yeah, it looks like at this point there is a pretty nice spread, except for these teams down here that we're currently looking at with Fireflux and Surreal. And Farm has 2 teams as well, but usually you see this split happen quite a lot. So Pride Big probably not going to be fighting for a bit as well until this next zone is going to pop. Otherwise, the majority of the rest of the teams pretty nice and spread out. So I don't think we're going to see too much action except for this team down here on the southern side, like if Fireflux really just wants to get rid of Surreal right below them. Otherwise, I think it's kind of just waiting time for this next zone to close fully.
Yeah, true. We have seen this happening on the past when we do have small amount of teams on the phase 4, phase 5. There's so much space that it's going to slow down a little bit, and that is what we are seeing here. But Big and Major Pride, they're not so far away from each other, and just like you said, Span also, the Surreal Esports and Fireflux, they are right next to each other on the southern side as well. So something will happen, but I guess they still want to wait for the circle, see where they're kind of like standing there. What's the thing? Do they have to rotate? Is the circle coming towards them, or is it going away? And I think the same applies for the Goddess Sirens as well. They have a great place in Multa. They have a lot of buildings. They actually have 4 different buildings which they're controlling. So if somebody wants to crash on Multa, especially from the southern side, so let's imagine that the circle would go to Multa, Fireflux, and Surreal Esports. They should be coming from the direction where Goddess Sirens should be able to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah, you're right. Everybody at this point is just waiting to see where the zone is going to go because everybody has a nice spot. And unfortunately, for the majority of the people, it's going to shift up to the north. Only Supermassive Blaze is really inside of this zone with their compounds. Of course, the last member of Next Rüya also there. We can see them setting up at this rock with their buggy. That's where they're going to be staying for a long time now. Everybody else, they're going to have to figure out how to find a spot inside of this next zone. And kind of curious to see if they're going to be fighting the people around them or if they're just going to try to crash a compound inside this this new zone, because otherwise, completely out in the open. Pride actually starting the push onto Big.
Yeah, with the teams outside, I think they want to do the fighting. So Big is going to be, of course, having the engagement with the Major Pride. And let's see what the Surreal Esports going to do with the Fire Flux. There's going to be a knock at least happening. Mishi's going to find Milky Way at the same time. So we can see one player falling down for Major Pride. Also, Mishi has been knocked down inside of the building. So we can see Swave moving there. Here we go, Surreal Esports, who will kind of like try to do something with the Fire Flux. They will get a knock towards them. Swave is going to go for the revival, puts the smokes in place. And that should be happening without any major problems. The Major Pride players, the two other players, Discrim and Nomi, they are still staying towards the southern building. So they are not really going for Milky Way's location because they know that there's going to be a full stack, 4 players staying on that location. So I think that they will lose one and then the 2 guys will try to get away. Kind of like the push which they try to do towards Big. It's not going to be working out. As we can see, Blaze now it's waiting when the enemy is going to be coming. Fireflux going to be arriving to seed. Blaze will get those angles and they will immediately open fire. The spray from Coursera doesn't connect on Wolf, unfortunately, and he's going to be still able to stay right next to that tree.
I'm a little bit worried about Supermassive Blade. They're super spread out right now, obviously trying to control the majority of this zone, but if they spread out too much, I'm a little bit worried that if these other teams get a little bit too close to them, it could be bad news.
Yep, that is definitely true. We can see Pride just trying to stand on the middle. They will go past Fire Flux and they will find themselves on the backside. We can see Wolf actually finding one. That's going to be a Discrim taken down. Flush will happen as well. Gnomi as the last guy trying to somehow stay alive. But I think there's going to be way too many enemies. I mean, Fire Flux, they have the angles. And it's just a matter of time when the other teams will start fighting as well. Gnomi goes very low on HP. Couple HP remaining. And one nade on the right place going to do enough damage that he's going to fall down as a whole. But no nades are coming for now. And Surreal Esports, I mean, if they will do something about Fire Flux, then maybe he has a chance to stay alive, but Mishi has been spotting down. We get the Jet will finding Soulless at the same time, so Luna also opening fire. So now all the teams who are coming from the south and also from the western side, the teams already inside of the circle, they'll just open fire. And I mean, this is just a chaos waiting to happen.
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is definitely the kill zone. We knew that there's not going to be enough space. And at this point, everybody was kind of holding off in the fight for so long that it's just going to be one big, massive fight, it looks like. It looks like Surreal starting to get ready to make their move, getting shot up by a ton of locations. Got to be careful. Nice smokes trying to provide them some cover and then utilize the vehicles for cover, but Mishi doesn't matter. Going to be able to at least catch one. That means there's just one left. And I have a feeling that Big, they want these points for themselves. You can see them already running down to the southern side, but we'll see who gets them first. Is it going to be Big or is it going to be Fire Flux?
Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen. Big definitely, they want to get some points. I mean, they have 7 kills. Sorry, Surreal Esports, they have 5 kills already. We can see Aku with that nade. Let's see what Beast and Mishi can do here. And let's see what Surreal Esports can do. Because none of these guys, they are inside of the zone. So they will have to get this fighting done. Nomi is still staying alive. But the chances of staying alive for a longer time are very small because doesn't have the vehicle, needs to move inside because he actually got a Sirens just parking here on the circle. And Surreal Esports going to be taken down as a whole. But Surreal Esports, okay, they're down, but the Goddess Sirens, they are right next to Blaze. They have Blaze players on the both sides, so now is a very important moment for them to kind of like handle it. Otherwise, I don't think that they can make it to the next circle.
No, they have a couple of places of hard cover on that road right there, but they do need to go ahead and fully push this fight with them. Meanwhile, it looks like Pride getting in a current fight with Big. Nice double knock coming through from Nomi. That is absolutely insane. Instantly finds cover around this rock, trying to get the last player left, but unfortunately can't quite get the hits onto him. 2v1, difficult to find, and unfortunately for Major Pride, they're going to be eliminated. Big, they're going to be able to recover at least one person, so they're going to stay 3 strong, and luckily nobody close enough to get involved.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, okay, Big, they can still do the revivals, and they will just have to move slightly towards the circle, so they can still definitely do it. They can continue as a 3-man stack. That is doable. Savian waiting for it, and it's going to be time now for the Blaze to open fire. We're going to find Lino. That's going to be the first knock happening now, and let's see what else going to happen still. We can see Davia, and let's see, we still have Gloria as well. Diablo and Gloria, they're still staying alive. We can see Beast now spotting down Savian, so they're going to be third party on the whole situation. That might help with the Goddess Sirens a little bit. And the Blaze, they're going to be healing up. Ketch has been knocked down. Coursera's thrown there completely down. So Blaze, they have been losing players. Just Savian currently up and running. And that's going to change the whole setup. Actually, Goddess Sirens, they can take down Blaze. And they will put the nades on the right place. We can see Gloria going with that nade. Savian's going to be trying to stay alive. And that nade is going to do the job. But that's the end of Papara. Supermassive Blaze, they are gone. And Goddess Sirens, they can maybe revive the whole team and continue with as a 4-person stack.
This is a strong position that they're in. You're right. They already got the reses. They are 4 up. That means they're against a 3-man, a 2-man, and a solo. So ironically, the biggest threat is Big. So let's see what they're going to be able to do against them. Both of them have cover for right now. I think what's really going to be the thing that kind of determines this next fight is where this next zone is going to be able to pop, because otherwise they're both kind of stuck on the southern side here. I'd also like to point out that Yekta is solo for such a long time. He's at least securing a 4th place for his team, which is insane.
Yeah, he has been quite lucky with the circle. When the circle initially shifted towards the northern side, he was right there waiting for it. He hasn't seen any of the enemies because all the fighting is happening on the southern side, so definitely a bit lucky. And who knows, I mean, maybe he can even like clutch the chicken dinner, who knows, we just have to wait for it. But Goddess Sirens, they're now taking the focus towards Flux and the vice versa as well, because the Luna putting some nades, Wolf's gonna take some minor damage, Molly's gonna be going on that direction as well. More nades coming from Flux towards the Goddess Sirens, and they might be in trouble if the utility is gonna do some more damage, and now we can see Owner actually go with the SMG. He might get that spray, but Gloria's gonna be defending, gets him down, and there we go. Gloria gets Owner, Flux, they are gone. So Goddess Sirens, they have made 3 kills, and they're at least getting the 3rd place, as Big is gonna be now making the move, and they haven't counted Yekta. He just might open the fire from the backside, and that would be horrible for Big, but meanwhile Big's gonna be finding Gloria.
This is unfortunate because Goddess Sirens, I mean, they were closer to the zone compared to Big, but because they had to go ahead and take the fight with Fireflux, they weren't able to move on the advantage that they had. And unfortunately, Next Rüya Gaming not going to be able to secure a 2nd place as Big spots them out. Now, Goddess Sirens, since they weren't able to move fast enough because of Fireflux, they're going to be held out by Big. They're just inside zone, but Big obviously further. They're using their vehicles as their hard cover, and actually B's starting to make a big rotation around. This is going to be a perfect angle for him.
Yeah, gotta be changing the situation. Beast gotta be trying to find that angle. Finds Lino, gets Sanhok as well, but gonna be taken down, but at the same time by Gloria, so it's gonna be traded immediately. Goldie at the same time trying to connect. Big still with the 2 players. Beast cannot be saved, and it's gonna be at the same time also the Goddess Sirens with 3 players, so they have the benefit of the amount of players, and we can see Luna just proning. They're using the smokes as a cover. They have made it barely inside of that circle. Goldie and Swave trying to put some nades, I guess, towards the vehicle or smokes. I don't know what's gonna be the play there. Maybe just trying to bait a little bit, kind of try to make sure that nobody will be coming from that direction, and Swave just using the vehicle as a cover, but they are both inside, but just barely.
Oh no, another nade landing directly on top of Luna. I was going to say Big, they cannot get the rest on the Beast, so Goddess Sirens would have the advantage here, but unfortunately those 2 nades completely turning it around. So it is a 2v2. Let's see what Swave's going to be able to do here. Swave, no way, getting another knock here, so it's just down to 1 person. Let's Ziva gets 1, but unfortunately the trade doesn't come through. So close. Goddess Sirens are eliminated though, and that goes towards Big.
Yeah, it was so close situation. Diavla in the end, I mean, the spray from proning position took 1 player down. If she would have been able to get the 2nd one, then it would have been a Goddess Sirens chicken dinner, but it wasn't just meant to be.
They were both really, really close. I gotta say, both those teams really were playing it perfectly, getting the reses, the trades the entire time. Not quite sure who was going to go on ahead and take that win, but let's get into more details with the panel.
More details is exactly what you'll be giving you here at the end of that match, and what a game yet again. I mean, the fact that Goddess Sirens now 2 matches in a row have been able to stay alive this long, to be able to get some kills. This is a Goddess Sirens that we haven't seen in the past when it comes to likes of like PMPL Imperium.
Yeah, there's definitely been some adaptability. They recognize that early game fighting isn't really their strength, it's not really their fortitude, so playing a little bit more passively in early game does play to their strengths a lot more. And the way they were moving throughout the game was pretty good. They went across the military island into Milton, and they played towards a late game. Got a fantastic spot at the Supermassive plays. Tarzan, and they held it out until the very end, until Big took them out.
It was good, to be fair. Sometimes you get a spot, but you don't make it work. Like, I feel like they know how to hold that particular spot with the security guard towers, and it's those end-game pressure that they were basically able to withstand. Like, towards the end, it was actually closer than I thought, but after all, it was Big that went so huge. I mean, we talked about them yesterday, we interviewed the IGO yesterday, and today we just brought the full game on. This is the Team Big that we remember.
Yeah, and it's the Team Big that we had high hopes for, I'd say, when we went to the European Regional Championship, and they didn't really even make it into that, which was unfortunate. We expected more of them out of PMPL. For me, honestly, I had them as one of the teams who could probably actually get into PMGC. So I don't know what it is that happened within the roster, within the team in general, of why they were performing, but they're showing us, like, yet again here, they are a damn good team. They're a team to respect it. And in the interview with me, he talked about how they're focused on next year and improving and performing better than they've done in this year. And that's great to see, actually, because it's really easy for teams to just disband once they don't qualify for the next stage of a tournament. We saw that happen with quite a few teams now.
Yeah, exactly. I have a lot of respect for me. He has such a good attitude about the game and about coming into tournaments. Look, they're all human at the end of the day, so the pressure of something like the European Championships was always going to have the risk of getting to them. And Big have proved that they are a team not to be messed with for the most part, and they're performing extremely well. Supermassive Blaze really had the opportunity to get a much better result out of this game. They got an early squad wipe onto Team Unique in Phase 2, but it felt like they focused on too much, and they allowed the likes of Goddess, kind of Fire Flux to get around them a little bit too easily, and then they paid the price.
Oh man. Our leaderboard here, Tarzan, I mean, Big get a good 68 points, but again, Fire Flux, who have been consistently doing really well in the final round of the day, get themselves 47 points. But then also next Rüya Gaming, the team I was talking about yesterday, of just consistently improving. They've been getting better. They're holding more consistent now. They get 39 on the board.
But let's not forget about how they got those points, right? We did the math before. On day one, before the first game, 29 points was from the squad wipe in Phase 1. And then with that solo creeping all the way to end game with 3rd place, that's how they got those 39 points. So sometimes it can be a little bit confusing as to how these teams got to where they are. But after all, I didn't think the spectators lied to us. We saw all those action very packed, especially on that southern side.
Have to give a big shout out to Rip7 for getting the 1v3 on the Conqueror. Absolutely incredible from him individually to get a couple of extra points and get obviously a couple of extra placement points. But one thing that I noticed as we get into the second half is that this first game was a little bit more passive. It wasn't as hot droppy. It wasn't as manic in the first 2 circles. We lost bodies, we lost teams, we lost players, but it didn't really feel as frantic as you've seen in the first 2 days.
Yeah, very true. And I did want to point out really quickly that Unique, we see they are human. They are not machines. They get last place there with no points, so they can unfortunately not do well in some games. But we see Owner coming through here as our top fragger. Goldie as well. We haven't seen really anyone on Big, I'd say, on this or on that top fragger list so far, and it's good to see someone's able to step up. Him and Beast together, and I feel like it's been a long time since we've been able to talk about Beast actually.
It's been great. I think based on I'm going to take this very quickly first. You know why? Because I actually spoke with Mihi after them failing to qualify to the European Championships. He told me one thing though. They wanted to kind of dial down with the aggression a little bit, and they failed to find the way to play the game towards those finals. So sometimes they just need to know what they are actually good at, and I feel like this is them playing in their true colors, and we can see from the stats as well.
The only reason I said Imperium there is because we had over 1,000 damage and he didn't give a reaction. Just
oh my god! Oh my god! No! I feel like I've disappointed you all. I'll go home. Wait, I'm already
home. You can make
home.
it up to me.
But yeah, the head-to-head between Big and Fireflux is definitely interesting to see. Both these teams performed exceedingly well in this game 1. Big move forward. You got the opportunity. You have a chance now to take first place in the palm of your hands for not only yourselves, but let's be fair, for the whole of Western Europe. They're the only team that's really been performing for Western Europe across the tournament so far. Bar got a Sirens stepping up to the plate.
Well, speaking of performing, we have not been performing well, but let's check if the community has been performing well in their predictions. Remember, you guys get your predictions in before the game with the hashtags. We'll do that again before game 2, and none of us are correct. Supermassive Blaze did get the furthest, so I feel like indirectly we should win that Imperium.
I know,
your pick
we should.
Technically got the farthest. My pick was out pretty much right off the start of the game, unfortunately, and so was yours, Tarzan. But either way, no one doing well, and that's how hard it is to predict here. But remember, as long as you guys get your predictions in, if you guys beat us, you get a code dropped into the game, that you guys can redeem for yourselves and get some lovely, lovely rewards. And we have a lovely break coming up here while we get things ready for our second match of the day. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back more with some PMSC.
Welcome to Top 5 Fraggers of PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Europe. Here, our talents and analysts will try to predict which player will make the most kills during the tournament.
Flux taken down, as Soul is going to be found by Frozen at the same time as well, but now it's going to be Unique versus Goddess, because Kofi's getting Yati and Luna's going to fall down as well, so player right next to him. He's actually the last guy that hasn't all dead already, and Ajalu wants to challenge Yekta gets the SMG's damage, will try to defend all the enemies, but there's just too many guys around him. Unique with 4, Konina Power with 1, next Rüya with 1, and found by Frozen at the same time as well, but now it's going to be Unique versus Goddess, because Kofi's getting Yati and Luna's going to fall down as well, so 2 players from the Goddess side, it's for died on the blue already, so Blaze they're down to 1 or 2 players, currently they lost a lot, and we can see Kofi's meanwhile fighting with the nose. Conqueror, they actually did jump on the boot camp, but there was nobody joining them.
Here we go. Yep. Now Fireflux starting to make the push on over as well. I guess everybody's just hearing all of the shooting and they know that they have to get involved. I mean, the 6 points per kill at this point is just too strong, too much of an influence on everybody that they need to go on ahead and take advantage of the fights when they can, especially because this is Sanhok. And what was it? Everybody sees the fight happening in Shelter still, except this time Fireflux Esports has now joined them. They were also a team.
Yeah, he's completely alone. Gonna be catching a molly, and that's the end of it. So mine will Kelsey getting frozen down. That's gonna be a great defend. The last guy from the S2G gets the damage still. Wants to get a flush. Mine's gonna find him down. And now it's going to be saving on the fire from Beast, so Beast is going to be trying to jump on that one. He's going to be getting feet down to at least.
Still just crawling. I actually really like the Kesh decided to push up to this location. Gotta be careful though, because there we go. Some bullets coming through from Goldie. Beast taking a little bit more damage from that nade. He spots out Goldie though, instantly gets it down. That Rosa is absolutely deadly, and that means Beast is the last one alive. He knew he needs to get this trade done.
Follow us on social media and find out the results after PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Europe. See you on the battlegrounds.
Hello everyone, Imperium here, and you're watching This Is Not a Drill. Players will try to give as many correct answers to questions related to PUBG Mobile as possible. Who will keep me company today?
Hello, I'm Linu and I'm playing for Goddess Sirens.
Let's go. How many ARs are there in the game? A9, B10, C12?
B.
Correct. What bullets are used for the UMP45? A9mm, B7.62, C.45 ACP?
45 SCP.
You're correct. Which weapon has the highest clip capacity? P92, P18C, or P90?
P90.
Correct. How many LMGs are there in the game? A3, B4, C2?
4. B.
Wrong. Machete, crowbar, sickle. What's missing from this list? A9, knife, B pan, C katana.
Pan.
Correct. Took you way too long. What's the most powerful sniper rifle in the game? A, AWM, B, Win94, C, M24.
NWM.
Correct. So, let's see how many correct answers the player gave.
All right, we are back. Imperium, if I did This Is Not a Drill with you, how many questions do you think you would have got right? Tarzan, X to doubt. He said he would get them all right. You, what do you think?
Half, I'd say. I feel like I will overthink that and then got some wrong and got too slow.
So I was asking you, what do you think Imperium would get all of them right?
Oh, no.
I know you would get
Wow.
that right, of course.
Wow. Okay.
I'd say a solid
okay,
90%.
Thanks.
I think there's like a solid 90%.
Fine. Okay. Thanks for having my back, bro.
Well, we can move on past this and we can talk about the overall leaderboard, because right now Fireflux are leading the charge and Big is right behind them by 4-point difference. Big have massively stepped up here, but so has Fireflux, coming out of nowhere day one, just in the final round of the day.
369 points, Jason. It's a nice number indeed, but indeed, Big are 4 points behind, and even then, Team Unique, despite going out earlier, still only 20 points behind with Papara, Supermassive Blaze following suit. Moving on to the second page, next Rüya. Come on, you can get out of the bottom 8. You can do it. Get into the top 8.
I feel like they just need to unleash off a little bit of those power that they showed yesterday, because they showed quite a lot of good gameplay, like through every phase of the game. To be fair, they were not afraid to fight early on, but transitioned into the mid-late game quite well as well. But after all, we've only got one game down today. Miramar is a different beast, so I just can't wait to see it.
I mean, yeah, there's 3 matches left. Vodafone Giants, Virtus.pro, Unicorns, The Love, Goddess, Sirens. I mean, I would say quite a few of these teams are pretty much going to be out of the running for that #1 place position, especially the way Fireflux has been so consistent on Erangel Arcane. We still have to wait 2 more matches until we get there. We still have Miramar to come up next. Don't worry, it'll be just as action-packed as the other matches today. But I'm surprised. Again, it is great to see teams who didn't get into PMGC, who didn't get into the European Regional Championship, who didn't make it through PMPL, be able to challenge the likes of all these other teams and step up and potentially take the title away from them.
And I think this is where, and I know we've touched upon it already, but I really think it's so important to stress the mentality aspect of gaming is a big part. And I think this event will really help evolve players' mindsets in terms of when you just relax a bit, Tarzan, have a bit of fun, you can perform better. We know in the big tournaments where there's only a couple of spots available for the next stage, and you know every single point counts, so stress can come to you. But in this place, I think it's important that the fun is there and the teams learn from it.
I'm not gonna lie, I am so surprised to see Big have only lost $60 so far. Out of the entire event, to only lose 60?
If I need to save some money, I'm just going to give it to the players from Big, because they'll look after it very nicely.
Let's say this, right? If you come in last place in a round, you lose 100. They've lost only 60, so they've never come last place. They've never come 15th place. They potentially went 14th place. But if you get less than 2 kills, minus 50. Less than 4 kills, minus 30. Less than 6 kills, minus 20. This team has been able to just hold on so much extra money in their pocket. And right now the prize pool, 7,500. So the winning team at the end of the day will get this money, obviously, and the money that comes through in the next couple of matches as well. I really love this format. I love to see this like Squid Game-esque kind of format, especially with the kills as well, seeing how games are being. But it's time for maybe us to step up here, not just us here on the desk, but also you at home. Our community prediction time for all of you to potentially beat us. But you know what, guys? It's not going to happen this time. We've got your number. We know who's going to win. We checked the script before we started the second round today. But make sure to get your predictions in chat by typing the hashtag of the team who you think is going to win. If it's going to be Fireflux, hashtag FF. I'm not going to give you any other information because you know what? I'm going to save it all for us.
Max, man. I see Max,
Max.
man. Max.
I feel like I'm being the new Max, so I'm a little bit scared to predict now.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey,
Did he just call himself the new Max, man? Hello?
In terms of the cursing bit. But you know what? I feel like we're... I want to stick with hashtag unique. I feel like there's something about the consistency that makes me want to root for them continuously. It was one fight that was not too close, but I feel like it could have gone either way. It's those small things. I'm going back to them because they've also won the Miramar game yesterday.
Just to remind you guys, you can if you type in a chat, you're active enough, you can get your avatar put into our stadium as Max's. I'm surprised they're not all Max man with how much he talks. Imperium, your prediction?
I'm torn. I want to go hashtag big, but I also don't think they're going to win back-to-back because nobody's done it so far. So I'm going to go for hashtag FF because it makes sense. They performed well so far. They're currently in first. That might give them the motivation to close out this game.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go with Surreal. I don't know why.
Ooh,
I have no reason behind it other than them having a sweet logo. And also the fact the community didn't vote for them. Because the Big's been able to bid in there at 52%. So Imperium, you know, at least keep us even with them. Unique in there as well. So I'm the only one. So it's down to me again, it seems. If either next Rüya or Surreal, whoever wins that, whoever does better, whoever gets top 3 wins the whole shebang. All right, let's get over to our commentators. The next round is ready to go. So Span, Cargo, and Copter, are you two ready to go? Let's drop in.
Hello, we're definitely ready to go. We're going to go on ahead and fly straight on into the action of Miramar. Okay, this time it looks like we don't have a plane path severely to one of the cardinal directions, kind of a little bit more down to the south, but still mainly across the main body of Miramar. In that case, does that mean, do we have the hopes of no hot drops this time, Copter?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to be possible at all. I mean, Montenuovo, we saw yesterday people fighting on the bowl, and now we do have the same situation with S2Gs here. We can see Vodafone Giants, and we do have one player from the Unicorns of Love at least visible on the minimap. So 3 Ts on this area. And we saw yesterday fights happening on this exactly the same place, but then there was a lot of third parties coming, and that's the case. But anyways, support your creative expression without limits with Xiaomi 11T Cinemagic Power. So go and have a look on the Xiaomi 11T. It's a great phone.
And it looks like Chumacera also starting off strong. Big fight between Big and, of course, team now about to push up the stairs onto Beast. Let's see what they're going to do. Pride, they're very, very much aggressive in the right ways on this situation. Beast only has a little bit of a shotgun, tries to go for the shots, unfortunately does not get the knock, and he's also down. Big only having 2 people left. Let's see what they're going to be able to do against Pride. Mishi, almost gets taken down, just also with the shotgun in this situation for those close range fights. And it looks like for Pride, only one goes down. Big just down to Samoa, and unfortunately cannot quite hold it on. Big will be eliminated. Pride picking up a ton of points immediately.
Yeah, that took 2.5 minutes, and we have lost the whole team. And of course, the other team can still revive all the members, so Pride can continue with the 4 players. Meanwhile, the fight happening here on the right next to Montenuovo, because the Vodafone Giants and the S2G, they are still having the same situation. And Unicorns of Love, they're right next to it. Meanwhile, in Picado, though, we have Blaze and we have Conqueror. We can see Coursera, we can see Ketch falling down, Savian still standing. Vito has been knocked down, but he's going to go for the revival. And we can see actually Mishi being taken down as a whole. So also Conqueror, they have taken their losses, so they have 3 players alive. And let's see if Blaze can do some of those revivals. At least we're going to be trying to deny one. That's the spray going straight from the AK towards Coursera, and he has been flushed down as well. So I think Blaze, they only have currently 1 player standing and maybe 1 player knocked down. I'm not completely sure, but anyways, definitely Conqueror, they have the majority of the manpower here.
Yeah, and it looks like Redox is starting to make the push happen. The rest of his teammates not with him, so that's a little bit concerning, but a 1v1 for now is going to be okay. It looks like he wants to try and get the res onto Kesha. It's a really good teammate as fast as possible, but I wonder if Redox is going to get there fast enough. No, it looks like he's deciding to be a little bit sneaky. Okay, the rest of his team probably going to go ahead and start surrounding. Redox is going to be in a perfect position to be able to catch him out, and that is exactly what he does with that barrel spray. All of Papara Supermassive Blaze is taken out.
Yeah, that was a good spray. I mean, great idea. Just wait there. Gotta be knowing that they will not go towards the buildings because the other players from Conqueror were on the other side of them. So he kind of like knew that they will actually escape, try to go on the southern side of the buildings. But yeah, he was ready, and the spray was definitely on point. The other player was, of course, very low straight after the revival, only a couple of HP remaining. So one shot, a maximum of 2, will take that player down, and the second's gonna fall down on the rest of the spray. So that was the situation in Picado. And Picado, we do actually have Virtus.pro. They're gonna be crashing there, and we can see that now they are actually here. So they just came, and of course, meanwhile, we saw the situation with the Vodafone Giants and S2G still on the Monte Nuevo, as well as Unicorns of Love also joining that fight. But well, Virtus.pro, they have came 4 players, so that's going to be 4 versus 3. Or did Conqueror actually lose 1 more? Do they have 2 or 3? I'm not completely sure about that one, but definitely Virtus.pro, they will come with a full stack meanwhile, and that definitely could be a problem. And yes, Conqueror with 3 players.
Yeah, just time to wait and see what's going to happen there once more. Hopefully they'll be able to go ahead and reset in time. Meanwhile, over here, Monte Nuevo, I swear there's just more and more teams are starting to appear. We're used to the 2, we're used to at least a 3rd starting to get involved, but a 4th team lingering in the distance as well, insane. So here we go. This is the push that we were waiting for. Conqueror, it looks like they're being very quiet. They know that there's people here. They don't quite know what to expect, and they know that they have the disadvantage. There's only 3 of them left. 3 of them left, and they still haven't really been able to fully go on ahead and continue to loot the building. So they probably don't have the meds that they want. Look, Vito himself only has 8 bandages. They don't have the guns, and they might not even have the armor that they need.
Yeah, they're just waiting and hiding. So Vito most probably going to be waiting on the 2nd floor, just seeing if Virtus.pro actually going to be pushing on that building. Reeves going to be making some minor moves. Meanwhile, in Montenova, because S2G going for the moves, they will find Pocus from that building. Nano's going to be on the highest floor and Pocus on the bottom floor. As soon as I see, we can see Kelsey just moving right next to Pocus, but of course we don't see what is happening inside of that building. But yeah, something definitely is going to go down. Pocus just waiting for the right moment. Kelsey quite low on HP. Phantom, meanwhile, from Unicorns of Love, going to find Timber. So Unicorns of Love, their 3rd part in the situation from the distance, and will find 1 knock towards S2G, but that's going to take them down. First, going to be getting a flash at the same time. Gonzo's going to find Timber. Kelsey's going to find Nano, and Pappy's going to find Kelsey. So lots of things are happening at the same time. As Seven just waiting for the opportunity. Pocus going to be maybe peeking from that window, but no, that is not the case. Seven tries to go outside to have a look. Nobody will be on the side of that building. Gotta be expecting that people will be coming, and Nano can actually at the same time surprise Seven, and that is S2G taken down.
Honestly, Vodafone Giants, they needed those kills, so that's nice to see. Unfortunately, not on the side of S2G, though, them being taken down. Back jumping to our other fight, though, Vito, looks like him being quiet did, in fact, work out. He takes down 1, and he might just go on ahead and turn this around, make the fight even, a 3v3 now between them. But, of course, even Monte Nuevo not over. Unicorns of Love fully inside of Monte Nuevo at this point. 2 of them still on the high ground, going to be able to watch over the entire fight. And Konina Power, also a team that we know needs to be getting a bit more points if they want to be higher up on that first page. They're starting to try and see what they can capitalize off of.
Yeah, I mean, Unicorns of Love, they did the same yesterday. So they did watch from the hill what is actually going down, and then they moved down slowly. They left 1 player on top of that hill, and now I think that they have also identified Konina Power joining the fight as well. So it's going to be a more complicated than yesterday. But in the end, Unicorns of Love, yesterday, they did make the same move, but they were taken down in the end. So they didn't survive away from Montenova. But yesterday, Vodafone Giants, they're just keeping the stack together. GK first going to be moving right next to that fence line, wants to have a peek from the closer distance. Rockets has been taking some minor damage. So definitely Vodafone Giants, they're completely aware about the push that is happening. Vito's going to fall down at the same time. Virtus.pro will start fighting at Picado, but that is 1 player falling down. Reeves with that straight going to be trying to connect on Virtus.pro. Connects a little bit, doesn't get the knock. Going to be connecting on the 2nd player as well. Finally gets the knock. Yash is going to fall down. So Reeves doing the job, doing the heavy lifting here, and trying to make sure that Virtus.pro, they cannot surprise them from Picado.
Definitely was trying to stop any sort of res or help from each other that was going to happen here. Of course, Virtus.pro still not taken down just yet. Looks like one of them might get the res onto each other soon, so that's why Reeves is trying to push as fast as possible. There we go, about to jump out of the building. He saw the res, he ends up stopping it and is able to get the next knock. His teammate right behind him to help out. Now they know there's only 1 left, and they know exactly where he is. Taking him down super low. The push at this point is happening, but let's see, will White be able to go on ahead and run away before they catch up to him? He's definitely going to try.
I mean, if they can actually find him, that is 58 points from the first circle for them. But GK First is going to be meanwhile fighting here as well with the Vodafone Giants. We can see one player falling down. Phantom's going to be taken down by Konzo, so Konina Power is going to be making their move from the distance. They have actually moved in a closer range. We can see Fresh falling down. Just these guys here inside remaining, and that's going to be a spray coming from Reeves towards Killses, and Teague is going to find Fresh at the same time. Unicorns of Love, they are down. They will get out of this game. They will have to just rejoin the match number 3 of today later.
We said Vodafone Giants need these kills. Looks like they're able to take down another team, and now it's just down to Konina Power. The thing is that they have a complete surround on them, so it's a little bit of a scary situation, I gotta say. But back to our solo as well. He's definitely hiding to the best of his ability, ran all the way past all of the buildings, and they have no idea where he ended up running. Of course, next Rüya could end up spotting him out. They're also above to the northern side, kind of looking towards Picado. They definitely are probably hearing the fight happening, and now they're trying to see if they can get involved, but they know the fight isn't over, so they're probably kind of wondering what is happening before they make a move.
Yeah, I mean, Whitey just doesn't have any luck with the situation. Next Rüya on the northern side, Conqueror still inside, and they are trying to look him down. If I did calculate it right, I think Conqueror actually got still 7 kills, so when you multiply that with 6 and you add the 5, that is a lot of points from one single game just before the 10-minute mark. So a great game for Conqueror, actually getting a huge amount of points. But meanwhile, the fights are still going on. The circle has been, we can see the circle shifting, and that's going to be getting on the southwestern side. So towards Chumachera, San Martin is going to be still included, Picard is going to be included, and also Monte Nuovo is going to be included. So all the major places where the fights are happening currently, they are still on the circle. We have some teams arriving from the sides. For example, Navi, they are coming from the north. We do have Goddess Sirens coming from the east, and more or less everybody else is still inside. 12 teams, 43 players still alive, so that's a lot of teams. And yesterday we saw that the fighting didn't really end in Miramar. On the first day, it did kind of like pause for a while in the middle, but on Miramar, it was just fighting all the way through the whole game.
Yeah, it was. So let's see what's going to happen this time. Looks like Luna forgot his Sirens. Unfortunately, just not able to get away from Team Unique. Team Unique taken out pretty early last match. So let's see if they're going to be able to kind of do something different in this one. We know that they're pretty safe on the overall leaderboard, but of course, that's not going to stop them from wanting to get higher. Looks like Konina Power, one of them at least, is going to be caught out. Vodafone Giants still holding their own, which is amazing to see because this is the team that's currently all the way in that bottom place. So they need to go ahead and kind of turn this around. It looks like this is definitely the game to do so. Right now, they're completely alone over here on the western side, so they can have the space to do this, basically.
Yeah, I think the Ulysses is the key for the Vodafone Giants. He's a little bit separate from the others, but I mean, he has the angle. So basically, Konina Power, they can't move that much. They have 2 players on the other side, and then Ulysses holding the backside that they cannot really escape from the fence line either. So that is, if Konina Power can actually get Ulysses down from that balcony, oh no, he's going to be moving closer actually. So Konina Power going to be pinching down here in the middle, but they're going to be losing 1 player. I mean, Konina Power, they have 1 player on the backside. So if Vodafone Giants doesn't spot that they still have players on the backside as well, then definitely there will be trouble. But I mean, the fight is definitely very it's almost like circle 8 or something like that. We see this kind of fights happening on the last circles of the game, and it's very exciting to see how this is going to go down, because Vodafone Giants are definitely giving a go for this fight, and they are fighting back.
Definitely. There we go. It looks like Konina Power getting a little bit closer. Beautiful nade is going to be able to take down Ulysses. They knew that there was only one of them over here. Now that they've gotten rid of him, now they can fully focus on the last 2 alive, and that is Pocus Nano, both inside of this one building. All of Konina Power now making the move. Looks like in the distance, Virtus.pro will unfortunately be taken down. And let's see, Konina Power, they're also a team that we got to see if they're going to be able to pull off this game too. Vodafone Giants, it's not looking too good at this point. They've been absolutely battered this entire time, team after team coming after them, and just 2 left. It's not looking too great.
Yeah, Pokus going to be trying to find something. Gonzo's going to find Nano at the same time. Pokus defending, but going to fall down as well. And that should be the end of the Vodafone Giants. They are gone, so Konina Power will get those kills. And I think they have 5 or 6 kills now in total. Circle has been meanwhile shifting towards San Martin. That's a pretty long way. And of course, the fight in Picado. Virtus.pro was taken down. Next Rüya found the last guy, so Conqueror didn't get the last guy, and they didn't get the team bonus. It went to the next Rüya Gaming. But a lot of teams already in the San Martin area. Exquisite Decode and Surreal Esports here in San Martin. They are fighting. We can see Resnov getting down. Daddy's gonna fall down as well. So Exquisite Decode, they have lost two players knocked down, and Surreal Esports, they have the 4-man stack, the full stack still alive, so they can try to go and get the flushies and try to find the rest of the members, and they know the location of Will. They're clearly moving on that direction. The flush for Daddy will happen right away here. Enjoy's gonna get that flush on the board, and now Enjoy is gonna be on the scopes of Will. Will's gonna be trying to surprise these guys. Elisio and Will still remaining for Exquisite Decode. Let's see Will where that nade is gonna land. Peace Hub is close by, nearby, and he definitely wants to get that player down with the nade. It's getting too far away. I think it's gonna go straight on the middle. Meanwhile, Peace Hub is gonna find Will. So only one player, Elisio, remaining. Gets Schedule. At least one trade is gonna happen. Doesn't get the flush though, and that's definitely a problem. He needs to do some miracles to stay alive, keep the hopes alive. But I mean, it's gonna be 1 versus 3, so it's not an easy job.
Definitely not an easy job whatsoever. This top side of San Martin, by the way, is so wanted. It's important. That's why both these teams are here. If they get up here, they obviously can have so much vision. Elisio, no! Unfortunately caught on fire, and that is a fiery end to Exquisite Decode. It looks like Surreal Esports is going to be able to take this top side San Martin for themselves. That is going to be a great location for them for the rest of this game. Just got to go ahead and continue to kind of worry about the other teams that are going to be surrounding them. At least they're able to survive with 3 up.
Yeah, 9 teams, 30 players alive. So we have lost quite many, 7 teams, and of course more than half of the players as well. So a lot of damage has been dealt during the first 15 minutes. Reeves and the Conqueror, they are still 3-man stack, so they didn't lose anybody more than Mishi, who they lost at the start. But Konina Power, they're going to be surprised by Pride. So Major Pride will get a knock, and can they do something else? Gnome is going to be very active on the situation. He's going to be trying to find a different angle. Going to be trying an SNG fight on the hill, and there we go. Going to fall down. Evos is going to find that one because he is trying to go for it. Going to fall down as well. So 2 players down from Major Pride, and again tries to save the situation from the distance. Going to be spotting down Gonzo, gets the damage, but doesn't get the knock because he milk away quite far away. We'll find the alternative angle from the top side of that hill. Gonna be trying to surprise them from the different angle. We'll spot them down. Gonzo takes the damage, gets him down. Gonzo's gonna fall down. Evo Station and his pals, they're definitely in trouble because Major Pride, they're trying to hold that down, but the Axer's gonna be finding milk away, and now again it's gonna be escaping from the situation. There's nothing he can much do about it anymore. He can try to maybe, no, he cannot do the revival. It's gonna be too late for that.
That is unfortunate. Pride was just driving. I don't think they realized that they were going to be running into Konina Power like that. Stopped when they shouldn't have, honestly, and were taken down. Konina Power able to kind of bring that back, surprisingly. There we go. Already getting the reses as well. That is exactly what they needed to have happened. I mean, definitely a harsh situation to kind of survive out of. Oh, man. Actually, I think this zone is just hurting way too much. Zone 4, yeah, never mind. Getting these reses is basically impossible. They just have to go on ahead and give all of their meds to Teak and see if he can survive this. You can see some shots in the distance as they're just trying to make sure that Konina Power gets eliminated, but who's going to get it? Navi or Pride Yen, though? Because Navi, they decided to come out here as well.
Yeah, I think Tig is going to fall down as well. I mean, he doesn't have the chance. There we go. Peso's going to get that one. And Konina Power, they are gone. Because the Azure getting milk away. That's the shot that kind of like changed the whole course of the battle. And in the end, it didn't save Konina Power, but it did kind of like deny at least 1 point more. Actually, not just one, actually. It's also the team point. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, if the last player dies on the zone, I guess nobody gets the team bonus, the 5 points. But meanwhile, let's worry about that later. We can see Reeves engaging a situation with Team Unique. So they have found themselves again on the circle, and they have been, of course, having a great performance all the way through the tournament. And now they do have a 3-man stack on the circle as well. So they have lost Mind, but they still have a Jalu, Frozen, and Tofi is still remaining for them. And they're kind of like controlling the eastern side. So I think Team Unique, they have a good chance of catching some points from this game.
I agree, especially as they're slowly making a move on in. I mean, this zone is honestly interesting to me because it hard shifted all the way to the north initially. The majority was to the south. Everybody was able to make it inside of the zone quite easily, if I do say so myself. The only big fight happening on San Martin and the fight that we just saw happen. But otherwise, everybody was somehow able to make it inside of the city. Gotta say, cities usually a little bit harder, and that a majority of people can kind of cram in there, and there's gonna be a lot of people in the end. But also, these little plateaus here also providing an interesting battleground. Frozen gets downed by a nade, and here comes the rest of Surreal Esports. They want to try and push off of this, but it's looking a little dangerous. Let's see what Archon's gonna do here.
Yeah, Ku's kind of waiting for the right timing, gets the molly, doesn't yet want to go there. There's going to be third-party shots from the distance at the same time as well, so he really can't go on top of that ridge. It's just not doable because he's going to be getting that backfire. Now he's going to find at the same time Vitos or Conqueror's going to be getting some casualties. Kuru still staying alive. Yekta and Nihal there just holding that ground. Navi is going to be on the scene as well on the northern side, so we can see a Jalo actually spotting them down. So it's just Team Unique. They have to concentrate on Navi's location. They cannot be third-partying on the situation on the south anymore. And Meku just watching a completely different direction at the same time, but unfortunately will be keeping his life. They don't spot him down. Well, maybe if they spot him down, they don't get the shots. Kudur, meanwhile, just trying to well, defend the location, which they have. Major Pride, which we saw earlier. They still have one player who's going to be coming from the western side. Tix is going to find Yekta, so next Rüya and Navi is kind of like a little bit heating up. But yeah, it's going to be still so long direction between the teams. Navi, they have 2 players on the north and 2 players on the south.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. I was just taking a look at that. The only thing that I'd be a little bit worried about is that solo surviving from Major Pride is going to be coming up right behind one of the duo sets. So they got to be careful. They don't want to be taken down. See, look at that split coming in from Navi. That's absolutely insane. It looks like one of them is actually going to go ahead and be punished because of it. Ooh, no, not just yet, which is unfortunate. It's actually Matic that's currently the furthest out there, trying to pick a fight with another team down there next to Rüya. But I don't know. The distance is kind of scaring me. There we go. Actually, Surreal is the one that gets the knock, not next to Rüya.
Yeah, Dix is going to find Arcane at the same time, and the circle was shifting on the southern side, so of course all the people from the north will have to relocate back on the southern direction, enjoy just scouting the area. I mean, Surreal Esports, they're kind of controlling the zone currently, but yeah, when they lost Arcane, that's definitely a problem. They only have 2 players who can actually hold that area. If there's going to be more teams, and there will be more teams coming to the scene, then they are definitely in trouble if they don't get the 3rd player revived. And we can see Peace Up trying to go for the revival, and that's going to help by controlling that zone. Navi at the same time will move the player from the northern side towards the other guys on the south, but of course they have had some casualties on that direction, so I don't think that they will find them anymore. There's going to be just dead bodies waiting for them when they will come there, but they have done the revival for now, so Navi, they're still having the 2-2 split, but yeah, definitely the split on the southern side is in trouble, and that's why they are most probably trying to wonder if they can move more players on the scene. This is the duo on the south, which is kind of like we're knocked down at least one of those, and they did the revival, and now Kitsune is going to be coming. They will put down the solo from Major Pride. They don't connect the Frey. Yen is going to be still keeping his life, but for how long, that's going to be a completely different question, as we can see Aku fighting Meku.
Yeah, it looks like they're able to get the res here. Navi, we can see that the other duo was trying to meet up with the rest of their teammates. That's what they usually do. They're usually spread out until they realize where the zone's going to go, then meet up and just absolutely dominate. But it looks like this time that plan is not going according to what it usually is like. Kitsune getting that res onto Meku. At least Navi will be able to survive with 2 up for now, but it looks like next Rüya picking a fight with Conqueror as well. 1 goes down. Redox almost goes down too. Let's see. Kuder goes for another repeat, trying to hit it, but just can't quite make the mark with that scar, and has to go ahead and lay prone. It looks like there's just too many enemies from Conqueror. I wouldn't be surprised if another team starts running up on top of them as well. We can kind of see this team coming in from the western side. Let's see if he's going to be able to end it with a singular nade here. It looks good. Oh, not quite enough. Just 1 more ridge it needed to go over.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too short. I mean, that could have been the nade to take down the whole team. Now the Molly is going to be coming towards Aku's location. He needs to escape from that one. Going to be dodging that one. Navi, meanwhile, having the casualties. There's going to be shots coming all the way from the Fireflux. And Razy is going to find Meku. So 1 player from Navi at least taken down completely. There's no way of saving that. And Tixi, Matic, they're having their own fight. Meanwhile, he's just watching towards the direction of Tixi. Tixi's going to fall down, by the way. Enjoy's going to find that spray, and the nade's going to be thrown as well. So Matic needs to go for the revival. Akun might do the push at the same time. We can see Peace Up actually moving to the scene as well closer, and they are definitely going for it. So we can see Aku Peace Up. They want to get finished. They want to finish the fight, and they are coming. But now the Fireflux can be finding the angles towards them from the backside. So there's going to be definitely damage coming for them, and they cannot really push more towards Navi.
I like their spot too. We can see that the zone has now officially shifted. They have the rock to themselves. They just have to go ahead and defend it at this point. Looks like Conqueror is going to be able to clean up this team down to the southern side of them. But of course, now they have to run into Unique. Nice find onto Frozen. Taking down 2 more though, up to the northern side. Toffees and teammates slowly making a move on down. It looks like they're kind of trying to hold out Conqueror at this point. I mean, kind of a hard location to be getting inside of this zone. So why not just go ahead and try to pick up these 3 points per person? So the push is going to be happening. I think Conqueror realizes as well that they have to sweep this edge.
Yeah, it's something that they have to do. I mean, I don't think the team Unix just wants to give out the location. So let's see how let's just see how they will play this out, because the Unique seems to be moving towards the northern side, so they might want to actually get a higher ground and just to have a peek what's actually happening on the middle of the circle. We're just going to find Frozen, so Conqueror actually opens the fight, and they will get a flush from one of the players, so that's going to be just 2 players remaining for the team Unique. Goddess, Sirens, as we saw just Gloria remaining on the shack, because Matic watching that one and just going to find a Jula at the same time, so Peace Hub will get 1 player down from Unique, so they're down to 1 player only, and that's going to be a flush as well with the SMG. Gloria trying to leave from that shack. That's going to be well, no chances at all, because Razy will find the Tixie, Wolf gonna find Gloria, so a lot of teams are dying, and 5 teams, 11 players still remaining. Conqueror going to be trying to move from the southern side. That top of the hill is going to be just barely inside of the zone, and on the middle we have some compounds and buildings, and those are controlled by the Surreal Esports.
Oh, wow. Navi just barely holding on as well. Okay, this is to the point where we have 5 teams left. Looks like Surreal Unique going to be the next teams that are kind of running into each other. The thing is, it's just down to Toffee, so I don't know if he's going to be wanting to move anytime soon. Probably just waiting to hear other fights happen, or this blue zone to be pushing him on in. Uh-oh, the fall happening? No way. Okay, I was a little bit worried about the fall damage that he was going to take there, but luckily it was not too much to be taking him out just yet. But now he's kind of stuck underneath this hill. I think it's pretty difficult to get back up on top. So he's going to be down there with Fire Flux, and it's just going to be the the southern teams, top teams on the top of the hill that I think are really going to be duking it out in the end.
Yeah, it's going to be a quite tight battle. I mean, 5 teams in a zone like this. There's a lot of covers as well, so this is going to go down all the way to the wire. Matic watching it from above has a great angle, by the way, towards Fireflux when they will need to move away. But of course, Navi, they will have to worry about their own location as well. Conqueror just proning here. We can see Surreal Esports still staying alive at least for a while. Razy is going to find Enjoy though, so there's going to be 1 player down for the Surreal Esports. And Fireflux, when they will have to leave these containers, then they have a huge problem on their hands, because all the other teams, they have the higher ground circuit going to be shifting on the west side, and now it's going to be the time Matt is going to open fire, and they will actually get those 2 guys with the vehicle at least close by. Vito's going to be trying to connect them as well. Wants to explode that vehicle, will spot down Razy, but wants to still keep the straight towards the vehicle, trying to find that vehicle explosion, and they will just push. Razy will just come, and Tix is going to fall down. Owner's going to find Matic at the same time, and Navi, they are down. I didn't expect that to happen.
Unfortunately, they just could not go on ahead and defend it. I didn't expect it either, especially as they were getting shot at from somewhere else. I really thought the Fireflux was going to have the disadvantage there, but it looks like they're on fire. There we go, spotting out another person. Surreal Esports will be eliminated. Now we're down to the last 3 teams, and it looks like it is a 2v3v1. Our solo from Unique here, hiding up on that northeastern side. These 2 other teams realizing that Conqueror has to make the push forward. So, of course, Fireflux is going to be trying to move into a better position for themselves, but they just have everything covered. They're perfectly spread out.
Yeah, meanwhile, Fireflux, they will get a lot of damage. Owner's going to fall down. Conqueror, Redux wants to get the flush, will almost get that down as well. Owner's going to be taken down. So Trophies, as the last guy from Unique, going to be trying to third party the whole situation. 3 teams and 4 players alive. So Trophies getting that straight between the trees. Will connect slightly, at least. Will give out his location. Wants to get a second chance. Will connect, but will take the damage as well. And needs to heal. And now we can see Conqueror just holding that higher ground. So Conqueror with 1 player. Then we have Fireflux with 2. And then Team Unique with 1, so 1 versus 2. That is the situation. Razy going to be trying to nade towards Tofi. That nade shouldn't be doing any of the damage. It's going to be a smoke anyways, so it's not going to be a HC grenade. We can see Tofi's trying to move towards Fireflux's location. Wolf low on HP, but still alive. You cannot say the same for Redox, because Conqueror's going to be taken down. Tofi gets the spray on point, and that's the end. In the end, Team Unique's going to fall down, and it's going to be the winner, the chicken winner dinner, Fireflux Esports.
Fireflux Esports, they knew exactly when they needed to move out of that little compound there, push Navi, take control of those rocks, and then perfect spread there at the end. Definitely moved exactly when they needed to take that win.
Yeah, definitely a tight battle. Interesting landscape on the final circle as well. But anyway, let's see what the panel has to say about it. So, take it away, boys.
Well, the panel has to say, what did we tell you guys? We got pretty damn good in our predictions. We probably destroyed the community, but you know what? Just another day in the life of us being amazing. Fantastic finish out of Fireflux. Tarzan, you know, I think you would have jumped straight into talking about this team and obviously the mix-ups that have happened since Class Digital Athletics into this. You know, floor is yours, man.
For sure. Like, I talked about it on day 1. Fireflux was that team that didn't show as, much promise if you look at the the results from the PMCO and PMPL, but they do have enough to attract the two veterans in, right? Solus and Razy joined the squad, and I thought, okay, what has Owner and Wolf got? And they just showed it once again in this game. We've seen these end game clutches on day 1 and 2, and right now they showed it again. I mean, you have to be thrilled, Imperial, right? That's your choice, and they played so fantastic.
It's a big part of why I picked them, because it's been building up to it a little bit like Team Unique, a little bit like Team Big. It's been really building up to it. But in this game specifically, I have to give a lot of props to Conqueror. They had such a good game. They got 2 squad wipes in Picado, including a very early squad wipe on the Supermassive base, which when we compared to yesterday was just a world of difference. And then from there, they lost a player, they played as a 3, they pushed in, Reese ended up going out, but even as a duo, they still tried to pull something out. So in my eyes, Conqueror had a very, very strong result in this one.
I cannot agree more, and the math would agree as well. 2 squad wipes in Pyram in phase 1 means 58 points.
Yeah.
And, Copter said did that like perfect quick math there, right? But it's actually very hard to do, right? Yeah, it's brilliant team play. Like they play like if they got the last breath, they would try to bite your head off even as a duo. And I love seeing that competitiveness coming through from this squad.
I don't know, and Team Unique did have a good game, but I felt like they were a little bit too heavily spread in it and a little bit too heavily split up. It's kind of like their focus maybe wasn't in one direction at once, but either way, it wasn't a bad result considering they haven't really shone so much in these games across the last 2, across yesterday and today, so it was still at least good to see them get a bit of a decent result.
Yeah, but again, I mean, Fireflux, they were sitting at the top of the table when we kicked off this last match, and then they get another 48 points added to the tally. But as you guys are mentioning, Conqueror, 65 kill points, 10 placement points, getting 75 points in total. I think the only downside, actually, I guess the upside here is that Fireflux can help keep these points away from other teams because they want to hold on to that #1 position. Exactly.
They have like a big now kind of cushion ahead of the likes of Big, and that's well, actually ironic as well, coincidental they said that. So it's really important for Fireflux coming into the final 2 days that they keep that up. So indeed, a good result for Fireflux.
We actually see some good buff coming. Yes, Vodafone Giants for sure. I mean, we've been a little bit disappointed, but they held down quite strong. It's a little bit like the awakening of Western Europe, right? So like Conqueror in Picado did a little bit, poorly yesterday, but they came back strong. Montenuevo, the other hot drop, Vodafone Giants got themselves enough points as well, but they're not just those 2 teams that came back strong as well. Major Pride was in the mix as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing some teams start to step up here on the final day, but again, it's like you don't want to have the final day be the time that you really step up. I mean, yeah, it could secure you what you need to get up a few placings, but there's no placing bonuses, right? It's not because, you got 5th place, you get extra money. Oh no, you got 3rd place, you get extra money. You're just trying to prevent yourself from losing extra money over the course of the event because of how the prize pool works.
And one thing I've observed with that game is that it was quite heavy in terms of the kill points at the top of the standings. Like very few teams getting too many points, kill points at least in the bottom half of the standings. But Redox and Vito, I know Redox is new to the Conqueror team, but it seems like the more games he plays naturally, the more synergy he's building with the likes of Vito, Reese, and of course Michi, who's come in from another team as well. So Conqueror looking good. Hiya! Let's go! 1200 damage! Woo!
No, give me the hiya.
Hiya!
I love it.
I didn't think you would actually do it. I didn't think you would actually do it.
I know.
You
ask.
You know what else I like?
Yeah.
You know what else I like? I like the fact that Conqueror's got very experienced players and then bring in very new rising stars in, and that can really mix up the energy as well. And we talk about new teams, new rosters coming in. They need these boosts, right? And this game was a very, very good one to maybe allow us to see a potential good future of this team being Conqueror.
I just don't know what to say. I really didn't expect Imperium to make that sound, and I'm going to try to strike it from my memory so I can sleep tonight. Let's hop into our community prediction, though, versus us, and I feel pretty confident that we won this one.
Excuse me. I won it, you know?
True.
Although there's no I in team, so yeah, it's still a team.
But there
effort.
is a me. All right, well, community, you know what this means? No code coming up next game. You guys got shut down by the analysts, but don't worry, you have another chance. You have your final chance coming up when we get into our third match today. They'll be on the other side of a nice little short break.
Adım Kadir Öçmaz, Kimtron, Supermassive ekibinde oynuyorum.
So hello, my name is Rolandas Rolkes Palukas. I'm playing for Unicorns of Love.
Ben Taha Sollus Avşar. Takımım Fire Flux. Oyun için ikim FS Sollus.
Hola, buenas a todos, mi nombre es Ulises, en el juego muy conocido como Ulises también, y juego para el equipo de Vodafone Giants.
The neighbors upstairs are noisy, even though the clock is already past midnight. Your actions? A. A party? I'm in. B. Play Swedish black metal as loud as you can. C. Call the police.
Polisi aradım.
A.
Yüksek ihtimal polisi aradım.
Cojo opción B, pero en vez de poner metal, le pongo reggaetón y hasta que se cansen y a ver quién deja de hacer ruido primero.
What will you do if you get stuck in a spider-infested elevator? A. Jump like crazy. B. Get a lighter out of your pocket because spiders are afraid of fire. C. Pretend you're a spider too.
Cevabım A.
D.
Yüksek ihtimalle deli gibi zıplardım.
No le tengo miedo a las arañas, entonces cojo la opción B y pues con el mismo mechero las quemo uno por uno.
What will you do if you are bitten by a poisonous snake while traveling? A. Continue the journey as you are in a toxic relationship and nothing can harm you now. B. Bite it back. C. Use an antidote.
C.
B.
Yani yanımda panzehir varsa eğer tabii ki kullanırım. Ama yüksek ihtimal yılanı tekrardan ısırırdım çünkü yanımda panzehir yoktu. Toksik olmak biraz.
Todas mis relaciones fueron tóxicas, entonces yo estaría acostumbrado al veneno de la serpiente, entonces opción A.
You pulled out an exam ticket you don't know the answer to. Your actions? A. Try to take the topic of conversation in a different direction. B. Run away screaming. C. Tell the teacher the truth.
C.
A.
Yüksek ihtimal doğruyu söylerdim ya.
No podría hacer esas cosas, entonces me tocaría decir la verdad al maestro. Opción C.
You found yourself in a clearing dotted with various mushrooms. How do you understand which one is edible and which one is not? A. All mushrooms are edible, obviously. B. You can only eat bright-colored ones. C. Search the internet for types of edible mushrooms with photos.
C.
B.
Tam olarak yenilebilir mantarların fotoğraflarını bulup karşılaştırdım.
No estoy muy informado sobre las setas, no consumo, pero haría la opción C de buscar en Google cuáles son comestibles y cuáles no.
How to cleanse water from microorganisms. A. Use a charcoal filter. B. Place it in direct sunlight. C. Mix water with antiseptic.
C.
A.
Herhalde antiseptik karıştırılarak belli oluyordur. Pek emin değilim.
Para mí creo que lo mejor sería la opción B, la de la luz solar, para que filtre mejor.
How do you light a fire in the field? A. Using a magnifying glass and racks. B. Lose 10 games in a row. C. Through the power of thought.
B.
B.
Büyüteçle bir güneş yardımıyla.
Opción A, pero lo cambiaría en vez de trapos a algunas ramas secas, ya que se puede y lo he logrado y es más fácil, con una lupa y algo seco, fácil.
Well, I got some bad news for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just hearing... Yep. Rolkis is dead. You never eat the brightly colored mushrooms when you're out in the forest. Those are the ones that are generally most poisonous. They are technically edible, but you won't have a second chance at anything else in your life. Anyways, welcome back to PMSC, ladies and gentlemen, as we're getting into our third and penultimate match of the day. Fireflux sitting in first place by 44 points. Fantastic job out of this team, doing a phenomenal job these last 2 days, but they're not done just yet here, Imperium.
Look at that juicy kind of pillow cushion that they have. You can sleep on it. It's so damn comfortable right now. But of course, with the way the format works, it is still very possible for like unique Supermassive Blaze League to unique Blaze to
Big
catch up
unique
to
Blaze.
Fire.
Got a merger going on.
I'm done.
I will say this though, and I'll throw it over to you, Tarzan. Fireflux have been so on point every single day on Arcane Erangel. That'll be our final round of the day. If they just have an okay match here on Sanhok, I think this might be the team to take the whole shebang.
You're so spot on there. I thought you were taking my point away. But like, to be fair, a lot of those kill points were from those Game 4. And by those kill points alone would place them at 4th place. And that is quite crazy. And of course, we've got some, a little bit of a change through the last 2 days Sanhok matches. Like first day, we've got a crazy fight at the start. Then teams kind of darted down a little bit. So actually, I'm very excited to see how they're going to play this one.
Well, we can see here on the second page of Imperium, these teams are falling out of chance. I feel like Conqueror, next Rüya, and maybe S2G still have a glimpse, but it's a very small one.
It's a very small chance. With how Conqueror performed in the last game, I kind of want to give them their due respects. And even next Rüya, they've been kind of building it up from what was a very poor day one. But one thing that we do need to consider, Jason, is the fact that I know it's a different kind of format, but we talk about it in competitive. When teams have nothing to lose, that's when they're more dangerous. So we could see the volatility of some of these kind of lower teams come into the mix, stopping the likes of Supermassive Blaze and Fireflux.
I mean, we're going to have a massive fight on Sanhok and Paradise Resort every single day we've had it. We're going to be seeing it yet again. But it's time to just check in with the teams and the money they currently have in their bank accounts. Remember, they started off at $2,500. Every time you go out in 14, 15, 16 place, you lose money. You don't get enough kills in a match, you lose money. And right now, Big have finally lost some money. They went out 16 place with no kills. I think they hit the maximum of 150. So they were at 2440 and have dropped down to 2290. The only team who was 24 or higher. But, it's bound to happen. Fireflux, though, I mean, they have the most money. and they're potentially about to take the whole thing.
Yeah, they could. They very could. Looking kind of at the lower end of the standings, though, guys. Vodafone Giants 1670 need to kind of stop that in these final 2 games, because again, with them in no real position to grab the Squid Game X-esque prize pool, they need to kind of stop themselves from losing more money. They need to sow those pockets so the change doesn't continue to fall out.
Yeah, it's not just them though. Virtus.pro. We have high hopes for the CIS. Like, we've seen them having some good thoughts, like when it comes to macro, trying to be sneaky with third parties, especially on Miramar, but just did not work. Like, they're the least flashy team in many ways, I'd say, across all the CIS teams. And yes, I want them to change that, and they still have the chance to do so.
Man, Fireflux about to take home $10,000 at this rate. Remember, all the money that teams lose gets put into this prize pool at the very end of the tournament, but only the champion will be able to take that one home with them. So looking like over 2K per person at the moment if they continue this rate for themselves. But it also, as we move into our third and penultimate match, this is the final time you community can take us analysts on head-to-head, potentially beat us, and get yourselves a code in the final match of the day for some awesome goodies. So you better get your predictions on point here. I will give you some help. Day 1, unique one Sanhok. Day 2, big one Sanhok. Day 3, I'm not going to tell you because I'm going to save it for myself. But let's find out as you get your predictions in to the chat with the hashtag of the team you think is going to win. So Major Pride, hashtag MP. Supermassive Blaze, hashtag SMB. Tarzan, what would you be typing in chat right now?
You know what? I'm getting back to hashtag big. Go big or go home. I like how they played yesterday. It's not just about the fact that they won, it's how they engaged, right? As a third-party team around Painan, then slowly find a good way in, then control the spot well, and then they are that spot and almost, it sounds sad to say this, but they are the biggest hope, the biggest hope, not last hope, of Western Europe. I think they can still win this whole thing.
Imperium.
I'm thinking, Jason. I'm gonna go for hashtag QX Conqueror.
What?
Wow.
There's a I know. There's a big risk involved. It all depends on if they drop bootcamp thing. But they had a good result, so I'm hoping that confidence drives them forward. They get the win.
Okay. I really don't know who I want to predict. Tarzan, say who you predicted again. I want to make sure not to predict what you guys predicted.
I picked big.
Okay. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm thinking Navi, but I think the community's gonna vote for Navi, so I feel like it's a cop-out answer. But I'm gonna go for it anyways. I'm gonna go with Navi. Why not? Why? What do you mean, really? What's wrong with Navi?
You question my choice? Because they haven't been performing that well.
Yeah, but this is the perfect time to step up and perform. These last 2 rounds, they could take home the title and all the money. Come on. But no, I agree. I think it's really hard to predict who's gonna do well here, but I have my faith. I don't know how it's going to work out for when we do get in the Sanhok, but I'm really interested to see, again, how things break down on Paradise Resort. I mean, we had fighting there 15 minutes into the game. It seems like the action never stopped, and I don't know how Copter and Span Cargo can even breathe when they're constantly casting in situations like that.
It's really interesting. That's why I was thinking, okay, how many teams or what teams drop in Paradise and what teams join up with them. That's why I tried my best to avoid those teams, because it is very volatile. The thing about Paradise, Tarzan, is that you can fight in 2 different parts of what is generally a small area of the Paradise Resort buildings, because you have those big walls in the way. So I think teams that drop there, they need to drop somewhat together. Maybe it's a 2-2, really close together, grab the first gun you can and go all guns blazing.
Yeah, I mean, like, S2G did very well there yesterday. We talk about the mathematical possibility as well. Like, Conqueror got 2 squad wipes, and that's the majority of their points from the game earlier. If S2G can repeat what they've done yesterday to have 2 squad wipes in Paradise Resort early on, I think that will set them up for a potential huge swing back.
That's the thing, right? That's the thing with Paradise Resort, is that you really don't know. With how many teams are dropping there and fighting, it's really hard, even if you're a really skilled team, to win, because there's so many angles you have to watch, so many opportunities and mistakes that could be made. But Exquisite Decode, Konina Power, and Big. All right, well, Big, that's the overlap prediction, but we still have a chance here to beat the community. Or should we let the community win? I don't know, but I'm favoring our chances here, guys.
I think Konina Power is a dark horse in this one. See what I did there? See what I did there?
Yes.
So I do get why the community voted for them.
Okay. Well, you know what? We are about to head into the game here. Konina Power, they might have a chance. But Captor and Spen Cargo, they're the ones to tell us exactly what's going to happen as we hop into our third and penultimate match of the day.
And it's time for the match number 11, and Jason was wondering how we are breeding. We have a team called Lungs, so we're going to be using those, and some of the guys actually call me the man with 3 lungs. That's why I can keep up with the fast pace. But yeah, let's see if we're going to need that pace, because Paradise Resort, of course, going to be a very tempting location. We saw one team going only for the boot camp yesterday, so let's see if that's going to change. I'm really hoping that we will still get that huge lobster fight, and there are a couple teams actually heading towards that location. Do you think, Span Cargo, can we get the bootcamp fight finally?
I'm hoping for it. Yesterday, I asked the same question, but people just keep wanting to go Paradise, it seems, not boot camp. I guess the hotspot has kind of changed. Right now, it also continues to look like it might just be boot camp instead of anywhere else, but Paradise Resort still being as chaotic as ever. How many colors do we see here? At least 3. But first, before the action starts, gotta remind you about our sponsors. Support your creative expression without limits with Xiaomi's 11T's Cinemagic Power. Now let's see who's going to be the most powerful here as they take on these fights. There's a lot of points to get. Wait a second. Yes, Conqueror versus Exquisite Decode.
Yeah, we can see 2 knocks from Exquisite Decode. Velo's going to be knocked down as well. So finally, we do have something happening here. Velo's going to be on the first floor of the lobster building. And Rüya will be spotting him down, wants to find him from the window. Going to be waiting there, trying to spot down Will. We can see 2 players still knocked down. There's nothing happening much. Will's going to be trying to defend it. And then they have the second standing player a little bit further back from the whole situation. Meanwhile, in Campo, we do also have Unique finding a player from Vodafone Giants. So we have 3 different locations currently running as Will's going to fall down. And Exquisite Decode, they only have 1 player standing. And that's going to be Resnov on the southern side. He's going to be spotted down as well. Going to be trying to hide behind that corner. Reeves going to be right there waiting. They know the location. He's going to be trying to peek from that side. Will not connect that spray, unfortunately. Will's going to be taken down with the hands instead. And Resnov tries to flank the whole situation on the other side of the storage hall. But yeah, then we got to go towards the Campon.
See, Tarzan was worried about becoming the next Max Man when it comes to cursing people, but it kind of seems like maybe the community is kind of cursing out Exquisite Decode, but unfortunately for Vodafone Giants, they had such a great game last match, but this time it also looks like they're kind of on the worst side as well. Back to Paradise, though, we knew a ton of action was going to be happening here. Unfortunately for Fire Flux, it looks like they're in a little bit of a rough time, especially as Solus now falls. There's only 2 of them left, and Wolf is very low HP.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple teams inside, and we have 3 teams actually outside here on the western side because Wolf putting that nade, because Razy, well, Frozen was already knocked down, so he's just crawling there for now. And we'll see, Razy probably wants to get that flash. Kudu's going to be quite far away, so the other members are in the distance. So this is a completely different fight right next to Quarry on the northern side of the Quarry, by the way. And then we go back to the Paradise S2G. Soul is knocked down. Wolf still holding that place for now. But I mean, S2G, they're just trying to circle the whole thing around. They want to get the maximum amount of kills. Soul is going to be flushed down, so that's going to be another 6 points for them.
Let's see now, Wolf kind of playing it a little bit more slow. We can see so many people up above them. It's insane. It's not entirely in Paradise anymore. What is this? Looks like some teams tried running away, and that's what really caught the action. Now, of course, Big, another team that we're kind of keeping an eye on now since our desk chose them. Looks like they're getting in a fight as well. But wait a second, Timber once again falling for S2G. There, unfortunately for Timber, I feel like we keep seeing him being the first one knocked for that team. So he's still up for now, but Wolf doing his best with that with the DBS there to see what he can take down.
Yeah, it's, I mean, so many fights happening. This is happening still in Paradise. We had a fight on the northern side of the Painan as well. Because the S2G trying to go for the revival. Kelsey not going to be doing much from that location for now. I mean, just hiding. And there's going to be a reason for it because Major Pride is coming from the northern side at the same time. So they want to be also joining the fight as well. Seven wants to help fund Kelsey. So they have kind of like abandoned the members already down below because it's having been spotted down. Gnome's going to get that spray on point. And Timber has been revived. So Silas, Kelsey, and Timber, they are still alive as Wolf on the same building, just crawling, but it's going to be found by Kelsey. There's no chance for Wolf to stay alive on that building. And Unicorns of Love, they will find themselves on the same fight as well.
Yeah, the last one up for Flux is down to the southern side, so he's going to be safe for now. That team, that was 5 points for the elimination of a team, kind of just hanging on to one person. Meanwhile, you're right, Unicorns of Love kind of creeping forward, waiting to see if S2G is going to leave. They're completely surrounded by Unicorns of Love, Pride above them. It's not looking too good, and if this fight continues, there's still 2 teams from Paradise Resort over there. Look how many people there are. Let's see, the Vodafone Giants also kind of in the same situation, taking on a fight of their own. Looks like kind of just taking some shots in the distance. Surreal. All of this is just insane. Just so many people are being caught down and already a ton of solos with 15 teams.
Yeah, I think there's like 5 or 6 teams on the Paradise area. Meanwhile, big versus Blaze happening still here on the north side of Pine. He's going to be taken down. Savian and Ketch, they are also crawling. So only Coursera currently for Blaze who can actually do something about it. And we can see Savian and the other guys, they are on the different side of the river as well. So they are pretty much lost cause. And he's going to be spotting down Coursera as well. That's the last guy, but the Stray for now is not going to be connecting. No, they have John actually still standing as well. So it was actually the other player from Big who was knocked down right next to him. The nade is going to come from Swave, going to find Savian. The flash will happen. Tron is going to be now on the scope for them. And meanwhile, we're going to be having a look what the unit going to be doing here in the battle. Rüya is going to be spotting down the Destroyer, going to be spotting down S2G as well. Naomi is going to find one. Fresh opens the door, wants to go for the flashes, wants to confirm some points, going to closing down that battle though. So that's going to be a Yasha for Virtus.pro, destroying the whole Unicorns of Love.
There's just so many people in this singular area, you know, the Dust, they're kind of talking about it. Now that it's coming into the last 2 matches, are we going to see something a little bit different than what we've been seeing? Chaotic, let's say, for those teams that know that they're too far down on the leaderboard. Are they going to pull some crazy things? And I feel like it might be a mixture. There's just so many teams around Paradise Resort that there's no way that some teams are just playing this game differently than what they normally would be doing. Papara, Supermassive, Blaze also going to find themselves down big, taking that point for themselves. This is still 6 points per kill, so that's also probably why this Paradise Resort is so popular right now. They know that this hot drop has been happening the last 2 days, so they want the points. Looks like Vodafone Giants going to pick up another one here for Pride. There's just one more left, or I think Nomi actually just went down as well.
Yeah, that is the definitely interesting situation. What is happening on the Alpha Island, meanwhile, is Navi is completely alone there, and Meku actually killed himself with a nade. So I don't know what's going on there, but Navi definitely having their own troubles. So they only have a 3-man stack. There's no enemies, but they have lost 1 player. But yeah, the situation in the Paradise Resort, let's go back to that one. That is the most interesting one. So Virtus.pro, they came from the southern side. They have 1 player knocked down because the Azure now falling down to Goddess Sirens as well. Because the Gloria now spotting the enemies from the distance, according to Power versus Goddess Sirens. And there we go. It's going to be Evo Station, going to find Gloria. We have Lino falling down as well, and that's going to be a spray coming from Teague, who's going to get that kill. Meanwhile, Kuru's going to spot down trophies from Team Unique. Will get a flush as well. Virtus.pro from top of that hill, Flux going to be taken down as a whole, and Vate from Virtus.pro still watching what's going to be happening with S2G. They are having 3 members on those buildings, and Virtus.pro, they're kind of like taking their time to get there, but now we can see the move coming from Wade. Gets the DPS, gets the Peril as well, so he has 2 different very powerful weapons for that whole situation. As Unique fighting with the Konina Power, going to be third partying in the whole situation with the Goddess Sirens. Jalo gets the spray protecting as well, because the Frozen getting Gonzo down, so Konina Power gets the damage. Frozen going to find the flush as well, so Gonzo is down as a whole. Gloria has been taken down by Evo Station as well. As Virtus.pro, they will make the move.
Oh, there we go. The big push in coming with the DBS. We knew the shotgun was going to come into play. Virtus.pro can go ahead and get the res on the down teammate, but first wants to go ahead and finish off the rest of S2G, and it looks like it will be possible. S2G, the next team eliminated. Virtus.pro kind of coming out of this one. There's one more team right above them, but I believe it's just the solo there from Pride. Everybody else that was around this area kind of left or was taken out. So now it looks like a Paradise Resort fight finally went on ahead and settled itself. Now it's down by Quarry. That's actually our next most interesting condensed area. Otherwise, look how open the rest of this map is. Navi sticking with the northwest locations on every single map. Definitely working out for them this time.
Yeah, the last guy from Major Pride watching what is happening with Virtus.pro. Virtus.pro, they have collected 31 points, so they have 21 kill points, and they have 10 team finish points. I guess that's the score for now. But this Grim just wants to do something. He lost his teammates, wants to have the payback. But this could be a lot of points. I mean, if Virtus.pro can actually destroy this guy inside 1 minute or actually 50 seconds, that's going to be 11 points for the team. 6 from the kill and 5 from the team flush points. But meanwhile, Konina Power is going to be challenging Surreal Esports. Beezum's going to get the Evo Station down, so Konina Power gets the damage towards them. Because the Azure now trying to retaliate. Top takes the damage. It's gonna be, oh my god, he gets the knock. Azure falls down, and PSHub, he's just completely on fire. Gets the second one, and Konina Power, that down to, I think, to one player, only Teak remaining for them. So that was a 3-man stack, now down to 1.
That's insane. I mean, solos just have so much power. Just a surprise, able to take down 2 people. Absolutely insane. It looks like maybe they'll have the opportunity to do it once again with the solo Discrim, though, kind of making sure to hide, making sure Virtus.pro doesn't spot him out. The zone about to close. And, you know, I actually said Navi working out this northwestern spot, but actually, when you think about it, they're too low on the leaderboard. And earlier I kind of mentioned, I think it's because they don't get involved in these early fights. And here we are seeing it again. They're completely alone up there. Nobody near them. All these fights happening on the eastern side, they're missing out on 6 points per kill right now, and that obviously is not an ideal for the situation that they're in.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm watching Navi, I can already see on my eyes the Pablo emote, like, you know, me while waiting for the enemies. But yeah, PSHub is going to find the Konina Power player. We can see the replay of that one situation. PSHub here as the last guy from the Surreal Esports. So we have 2 players from next Rüya holding this situation, and then we have the Surreal Esports and Konina Power still there, right next to the blue. They will have to move towards next Rüya. But meanwhile, we're going to be moving towards the fight on the quarry, which Span also mentioned earlier. Got us Sirens, they are down, and Team Unique, they will take the possession of the quarry area. They will have to move. There's nobody holding them down, so they can just now rotate into the zone. Also from the Vodafone Giants, they have 1 player on the northern side of the situation, but that is only Nano remaining for them as well. So we have lost quite a lot of players, 11 minutes played, and 10 teams, and only 23 players alive.
There is at least 4 solos that I'm counting right now. I think there is 4 solos, so that's pretty insane. Everybody else at least has 1 other teammate, but it's still a very much broken teams at this point. Next, Rüya is in fact waiting for these 2 solos to move. Maybe they just want to pick those up. Navi actually doing something interesting. When we take a look at the map, we'll be able to see it a little bit more, doing something a little bit different than I was expecting. Otherwise, right now, there's only really 2 teams inside of this next zone. Everybody else kind of just stuck on the edges right now, I think, because of those initial fights.
Yeah, Big is going to be holding that middle place though, and of course Conqueror there right on the northern side of Painan as well. So though Conqueror, by the way, the other team that still has the full stack, Navi is the other one. But yeah, Conqueror is going to be moving right next to Big at the same time as we are watching the landscape here, and this is the situation. So Conqueror on the other side of the river, and then we can see Big on the other side. So it's all about the next circle where it's going to be shifting. If the guys want to play the circle game, they just might go for the kills as well. It doesn't make that much of a difference, to be honest, because you can get a lot of points still if you destroy the other team, the 4-player team. It's going to be still, what is it, 16 plus 5, so 21 points from 1 team at the second phase. And let's see, we can see Conqueror actually they haven't identified Big because they are moving the vehicles, they are coming, and Beast is going to be ready, gets the spray, will not be fast enough, unfortunately, going to be trying to get around the building, and Conqueror, they are moving more and more players, will get nice damage. There's going to be more shooters as well. Tix is going to be falling down from the vehicle, so he's going to find Redox at the same time, so Big is defending the side of the river, and we can see this wave going for Redox. That's going to be a flush happening. Matt is going to be finding 1, that's going to be Mishi falling down from Conqueror, so Navi is going to be joining the battle from the backside. They have arrived also on the east side of this whole situation, and they want to get something done as well, but they only have 1 solo player remaining.
This was what I was saying, that Navi was doing something interesting. They're actually all the way in Hutton, decided to drive all the way around past Paradise, past Boot Camp, and now where they currently are. They just made a huge loop around. I think maybe they're kind of searching for a fight to get involved with, probably realizing we need these points. So now they're here. It looks like Goldie for Big will be able to get a knock onto Vito Conqueror, and that means Conqueror is just down to Reeves' left. Let's see what he's going to be able to do here. Tossing a big nade, going to be able to get the knock onto Swap there, and that means Goldie, let's see what he's going to be able to do. It looks like a lot of pressure kind of making him unable to reach his teammate coming in from Kitsune, from Navi. Actually, Navi, this is their chance. They should be running across the water right now, I feel like, and participate in cleaning up the rest of this fight, but I think they're wanting to be a little bit cautious.
Yeah, Big definitely in trouble. Only 1 player remaining. And Conqueror, I mean, Reeves remaining for them. So it's just, well, 1 player crawling still for them. But yeah, can they go for the revival? That's going to be a completely different question. And of course, Navi, they have been able to revive all the members. So they have 3-man stack. They lost 1 on the Alpha Island. And now Goldie, maybe with a huge nade, it's going to go straight towards Conqueror. Will it hit? It's going to be close. And finds Vito at least, but doesn't get Reeves down. So still 1 remaining for Conqueror as well. We can see Kudur spotting down the last guy from the Konina Power. We're going to be trying to run away with the bug. Pubg, and the spray from Kudur will be connecting slightly, and there's a chance. Zeke wants to challenge the whole situation. Kudur's gonna fall down. He's gonna win that fight as well. And next Rüya, they are down. Zeke, he was just having a nice chill drive, but somebody wanted to mess with him, and then he just immediately gave them payback at that situation.
Also looks like Conqueror will fall right as well. Right after that, looks like Goldie from Big going to be the only one that's surviving that altercation. They're instantly running away, trying to cross the water because we can see that the zone ended up pulling up to the northern side. Na'Vi now taking control of that entire little trifecta compound area. And we can see Vodafone Giants, last member up, Nano. He's like, whatever, I'm just going to start taking some shots, seeing who I can get involved with a fight with me to pick up some last couple of points, because everybody at this point has to move. Nobody's inside of this next zone except for Goldie, who already made a move. So like everybody's going to be running into each other right now. 8 teams and only 15 minutes has gone by. 15 alive, that's insane.
And there's 5 solos again. So there's a lot of solos because Virtus.pro, the last team with Foreman stack, they are moving on the Alpha Island by swimming from the northern side. Major Pride is the last guy's going to be trying together with the vehicle. And we can see, of course, Team Unique and, of course, Na'Vi and Virtus.pro. They are the teams that still have more than one player alive. And this scrim, as we can see from Major Pride, going to be using the northern bridge, has the vehicle because Nano spotting down there Na'Vi. And Nano, of course, the last guy from Vodafone Giants, needs to cross that river at some point, but he's still inside of the zone, so he doesn't need to do that for now. But they are, of course, very, very risky situation when you have 3 guys like the members of Na'Vi. They can shoot very accurate from the longer distance. And Vodafone Giants, meanwhile, we can see that the guy didn't make it on the other side, so he's going to be taken down. Big has gone swimming as well. The last guy who's going to be still remaining, going to be trying to reach the Alpha Island. Unique has crossed the bridge at the same time as well.
Nice shots coming in through from Tigsy there with that replay, but also Na'Vi trying to go ahead and sweep all these buildings. They knew that somebody was here, but what they don't know is they're already out of here. Looks like Surreal also making a big wraparound. Gotta say, we saw Goldie for Big making the swim, but gotta be careful because he comes out of the water. Unique is already in his area. There we go. We're kind of taking a look at him right now. He's right by a rock in the very center of this river, but there's Unique there, already holding this bridge, waiting for people to start making the cross. And I think that's exactly where Surreal is heading towards as well. So I think that they're going to be able to pick up at least 1 kill in this situation, a second one if Goldie isn't careful.
Yeah, I mean, Unique, they have the southern side in control. Meanwhile, Na'Vi and Virtus.pro, they're going to be finding each other a little bit more from the east from here. Na'Vi has crossed, and the VP is waiting on the other side. And there we go. Dix is going to find Yasha. So that's going to balance out the situation. Dix is going to fall down, though. It's going to be Whitey from Virtus.pro. It's going to be give it the trade immediately. So Virtus.pro, they will go immediate for the revival. Unique at the same time, kind of like playing the bridge game still. And there we go. That's going to be coming through. Surreal Esports, it just might fall down here. The spray is going to be connecting. And will he get him down one last HP? Yes, he will. Jalu gets Peace Hub, and Surreal Esports, they are down.
We saw it coming. We knew it was going to happen. Goldie now underneath the bridge realizing, uh-oh, there's people here. He's just going to go ahead and chill out there for as long as possible. I mean, inside zone, so doesn't have to move just yet. But as this zone's going to pop, it looks like it's actually going to be in a pretty nice position. He just has to kind of get up on the water underneath that bridge, and he'll be fine. Meanwhile, yep, Virtus.pro, Na'Vi in a full-out fight, a little bit too far to the eastern side to be inside this zone. And it looks like Na'Vi, with these 2 members up, I mean, we'll see. Na'Vi, the 4-man, looking pretty strong up here. They have holds on both sides of this road, so they got to be careful with this fight. Let's see. Na'Vi already getting a knock onto Wait at least 3v3 now.
Yeah, VP is just waiting. They will have to move at some point. I'm just wondering if Major Pride can actually get the 2nd place because we saw this screen rotating there on the northern side. But Skills just finds Kitsune, and that's going to be a flush immediately as well because he's going to be on the water. So Na'Vi losing 1 player. They have still 2 remaining. So Tixi and Matic, let's see what they will do. They will go swimming, so that's the choice. They will try to swim on the shore inside of the zone. Unique's going to be watching that side though, so that might be a problematic. But I don't know if there's going to be any good options because you have VP, you have Unique, they have the ground, they're actually on the island. So, I mean, Na'Vi, they will have to come up with some kind of creative play here, and this is one of those strategies that you can do. And Tixi actually goes all the way on the other side of the river, going to be hiding behind the tree, and tries to find the angle if the VP players will be peeking a little bit, and maybe they can open up something on the shoreline.
Ooh. I like what Unique is doing here as well. They decided to go on ahead and go towards that eastern edge of this new zone. They heard the shooting, and now they've ended up setting up, waiting for them to make the move on over. VP already starting to run up the side of the hill. Looks like Frozen's kind of the one in the center. He might be the one that's intercepting them. That, or if VP go all the way to the very top of the mountain, we know that another Unique member is up there as well. So it's only a matter of which member of Unique are they going to find first, but it's definitely going to be one of them. My only concern at that point is if they be able to actually be able to condense fast enough to protect their teammates. And wow, look at that rotation pattern, by the way, on that map. That's just insane.
Yeah, it is insane. Tig is going to be taken down. So the last player from Konina Power just came from the backside, and Tixi actually moved on the buildings and spotted him. I don't know if he's going to be having a strategy to take the vehicle, what's going to be the case. But anyways, Na'Vi making the moves. Matic still staying on the Alpha Island because he's Unique. They have VP player right below. That's what his skills is. And Jalu decided that he's going to get that kill. We can see Frozen actually spotting down skills as before, and he's going to get that knock. So skills is falling down. And now we do have the VP, the first casualty towards them, and I don't think that they can go for the revival. He's going to be so close. So Unique, they have definitely built something here, and VP, as they're coming from the eastern side, Unique, I mean, we know how strong these hills can be, and Unique, if they use these positions right, I mean, they might just have VP on their pockets.
That's why Frozen, love to see that he ended up running up to the northern side to get involved. No way, perfect angle for both of them to work together. Virtus.pro, the 4-man team, taken out by the 3-man. It looks like, unfortunately, they did lose somebody down to the southern side to Na'Vi, but what does that mean? It's just going to be down to 3 teams left, each of them with two members up. Actually, there's 4 teams alive. There must be a solo around here somewhere.
Yeah, we have Na'Vi, we have Unique, we have Pride, we have Big, and those are the teams. So we have 2 solos. We actually Pride, Major Pride holding the middle place on the compounds. They were completely free. It's going to be Pride actually spotting out Big now, as Daddy is going to be trying, no goal, he's going to be trying to approach the buildings. So he's going to stay behind the rock. He's going to be spotted down. He's not on the zone. We can see Unique, of course, hearing these shots. So they will make the move. They will move away from those hills. They have taken out VP. The target has been acquired, and now they can actually more concentrate towards what is happening on the circle. Na'Vi is also coming from the southern side. So this is just a disaster waiting to happen, because we can see Unique actually going for those hills. So they want to go and play the higher ground from the north, and they might be able to do something if the next buildings are not on the zone. As long as the other players, they have the cover from the buildings and the rocks on the southern side, then it's going to be complicated for Team Unique, but they have the time. They can just wait for it and try to take something out as the people will move away from the buildings, hopefully.
Yeah, Unique, they're just hoping, they know that they're the only ones up there. That means that they're just hoping the rest of these teams are just going to get in a fight below them. They're going to be spared from getting in this late game fight with only 2 up. So that means they might be able to be the ones that just show up to clean up. And you're right, there is only 2 solos. Their colors are so similar that I missed that, but it does look like Goldie from Big. Doesn't matter if he's a solo. He spotted out the opportunity to take down Matic from Na'Vi, and he's going to go ahead and do so. However, Unique spotted Goldie, no way, got that trade. So Big will be the first team eliminated in this. Na'Vi now, though, is a solo. The only team that has a duo right now is Unique. It's them versus the last member from Pride.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 solos, and no, it's going to be just 1 solo, sorry. So Team Unique versus Major Pride. So that's what I said. I mean, Major Pride, they came from the northern side. I was wondering if they can actually get that 2nd place by staying alive. And there we go. They are actually there. So Team Unique, they know it's going to be 2 versus 1. And of course, I think Pride also knows where the guy's going to be hiding. So he needs to be very careful. He's on the southern side. Circle was shifting, but he actually has the cover, so he can stay there. So the teams are occupying the northern and the southern sides of the circle. Frozen just watching it from the hills. We know how the hills, they like to be the magnet of the circle. So quite oftenly when the circle goes to the Alpha Islands, the hill's going to be still included for a longer time. So that just could be that Team Unique might be able to force Discrim to move towards their location. And as soon as Discrim's going to get away from those buildings, from the cover, I'm pretty sure that Unique will find that spray and connect it as well, because it's so hard from down below to shoot towards the top of those hills. So Discrim, he has to do some absolute miracles if he actually wants to win this one.
Exactly. That's why he's just laying prone, just waiting it out at this point. He knows exactly where they are, looking through that window, trying to spot out Team Unique. But at this point, both these teams are just stuck to the locations that they've chosen, right? Because obviously, Discrim hoping that the zone is going to pull into the compound where he's at. The others hoping it's going to pull out of the compound, making Discrim be forced to leave the cover that he has. They're just going to wait until this next zone closes, and we don't have too much longer to see that happening. So it's about to become more actionful in a moment, but Unique, they're definitely hoping for a certain situation. Let's see what it is.
Yeah, I think Major Pride. I mean, Disco is just waiting for that circle coming his way and getting that Imperium buff. That's what he's hoping for. But that's not the case. The circle's going to go in the middle. And in a way, I mean, Disco, if he can get behind that wall, that's the key. He can still play behind that wall, but Unique, they will have to get down from those hills. And of course, Discrim needs to be very careful. Unique wants to make the move right away. And now Discrim actually has the chance when they're getting down from that hill. They're coming with the car, and the spray will be coming from Discrim. Can he find those? Now is the time to make the spray. Go on. Get those guys down. The nade is going to be thrown, frozen, and they will spread. That's the right thing to do. They're going to spread down, that they cannot be taken down with a single nade. But that nade is not going to do the damage. Frozen's going to be getting behind that rock. We can see Frozen putting those utilities between the buildings, and they will go for it. And Discrim with that nade, he can find Frozen maybe. Can he do it? No, he cannot, unfortunately. The nade is not going to deal the damage, and now it's going to be wide in the open. And Team Unique, they don't have any trouble getting the Chico dinner all the way from Sanhok.
That was a really nice play for them at the end there. Just knowing that they needed to push as fast as possible. They had a car saved up, and that was a perfect opportunity to just crash into that location, because that's what they needed to do. Just make sure that he wasn't going to be able to set up on side of that wall. He had so many opportunities to at least take out one, make it even, but unfortunately he just could not get it. Now let's go over to the panel real quick to see what they have to say.
Thank you so much, Spen, Cargo, and Copter. That was an interesting game again. What we expected pretty much off the get-go. A lot of action happening right off the bat. A couple of our predictions did do fairly well here as well. But we're not sure exactly where we measured up in the whole thing. But I respect Unique, by the way, at the end. They're like, you know what? We could wait for the zones to just close in, but we're just going to go for it. We're just going to force the fight. We're going to close things out here on our terms, and they get themselves that chicken dinner.
It was a strong start for Unique as they picked up 3 kills on the Vodafone Giants. Then I believe they took out a couple of the Goddess players, for example, and then that wild rotation down to the edge of the Southwest Island was just kind of unique, but they played it well from there. And let's be fair, guys, they're the only team now to have gotten at least one chicken dinner every single day in this tournament. I know there's one more game to go, so another team could pull it out, like let's say Big, but yeah, incredibly played from Unique across the 3 days.
It's great. I mean, we praise consistency a lot, but we also celebrate teams bouncing back, right? We talked about how VP was not fleshy at all before this game. How wrong were we? They hot dropped this Paradise Resort. It's not Paradise Resort only, it's Paradise and Friends, right? Everyone joined the party from the outside. They came in. They survived as a full squad with 11 bloody kills. I believe if we have those top 3, that's pretty much set, right, when it comes to kill points alone from that phase one from this team.
Yeah, for sure. And then Conqueror, they did have a good start to the game as well. Take down Exquisite Decode, one of the community-driven teams in boot camp. They moved to the Trifecta compound, took a fight against Big. It was just a little bit unfortunate for them that Navi got involved and they end up going out.
Yeah, of course they do. They get knocked out by my team. Let's go Navi, but I don't think Navi got that many points overall, though, so that's the unfortunate part. But obviously we'll check in with the community results from this. Was your last chance, community, to win some items in-game. So we'll find out in a little bit if you guys have that final chance. But, you know, as you saw towards the end here, you know, Goldie going out, Navi going out as well. Unique and Elise just holding steady on top with 10 kills at that point, finish off 11 in total, I believe. A really great showing out of a team who, again, didn't make it into the European Regional Championship. But we see our top 3, Virtus.pro, Big, and Team Unique. Did any of us say Team Unique, or was it just Big?
It was just Big.
Oh, did we tie the community?
Yeah, we did, but that's fine. That's okay. We'll find out in a bit, but it's okay if we did. It's okay if we did. Virtus.pro, man, you highlighted Tarzan, a hell of a lot of kills in the early parts of the game. That was the majority of their points. Conqueror getting 38, Major Pride, and yeah, Navi, as Jason alluded to, they didn't really get that many kill points. So lying in 7th with a total of 24 points. That statistics looks very much like like a normal competitive game rather than this format.
Yes.
Also, unique. 40 points ahead of Flux. I'm curious how that affects overall standings, because that can get them up in towards the top echelons, maybe take that first place away as we go into the final match of the day, of the entire event, I should be saying. Yes. We see here Exquisite Decode, 0 points, unfortunately. Got a Sirens, 1 point. Vodafone Giants, 1 point. Unicorns Love, 6 points. I will say this, and it sounds a little bit negative, but I have been really disappointed with Unicorns Love, considering how strong we know GK First, Fresh, Rolkis, Liv, and the whole team is. For them to not pick up just a ton of frags in any of these matches is a little bit of a letdown.
Totally
you know
agree.
what? Yeah, like, you know what? Some people would say, like, and gentlemen, we know this. They would say this is not the usual game mode, but there are certain things that are calculated and can be carried through to what we're used to, right? We talk about placement points, and they are honestly a little bit atrocious. Not a little bit; it was very bad. Like yesterday in those 4 matches, they've got 2 placement points. I mean, fine, you talk about the change in kill points, but there needs to be some sort of consistency in your macro somehow.
For sure, and nobody hitting the 1,000-point mark in this game, but Rüya, the Irish god, topping the tables when it comes to the damage, and was even up there in the kills with himself. So that's really good play. But the head-to-head, Jason, very, very even between the two teams. 11 kills each, 10 knocks each, very similar in damage as well.
Gentlemen, are you ready to see the prediction result between us and the community? Are you ready to see it?
Yes. Can I have another 10 seconds? Oh,
no, you get no time. We tied them all with big. 1-1. I don't know if that means the community's going to get one. I don't know if they're going to be like, you know what, community, you tried. Let's just throw you a freebie here. But either way, we held our ground today. We didn't let the community beat us a single time, so I'm so proud of you guys.
Look, it was that false sense of security. We made the community think that they're good at what we do, and then the final day we swooped in and we've overall beaten them hard. So I say, yeah, you know, it's why we get paid the big bucks, Jason. Well, you anyway, not me.
You know what's funny? I don't think I got a single prediction right these entire 3 days. I don't think I got us a single point. And on that note, we're going to head to a break where we get things ready for a final match of the day. So we'll see you guys soon.
Welcome to PUBG Mobile Masterclass. Today, we will take a look at the game strategy from real professionals. Let's take a look at one of the best Turkish teams and what they managed to show at the PMPL Season 2 Finals. Papara Supermassive Blaze. On the second day of the finals, Supermassive Blaze showed us how important it is to choose correct positions and how to stop an opponent's attack prematurely. First, Tron sees an enemy car on the left. Therefore, the first step was to destroy the enemy vehicle in order to protect the team from quick attacks. They figured that not only one team has cars, so they tried to blow up the cars through the smoke of the other team on the right side, hoping they would damage some enemies. Meanwhile, as the zone begins to shrink, an enemy team tried to get closer to Papara Supermassive Blaze by car. But Savian took a good position and fired at the vehicle in order to stop the enemy attack. Savian shot the car, thereby blowing up the car and killing the enemy. After the vehicle exploded, Papara Supermassive Blaze stayed together to wipe out the remaining enemies. Papara Supermassive Blaze demonstrated how you can stop a fast attack of your enemy by destroying their vehicle in the first place, so that the enemies could not get closer to your position. And of course, the second step is to destroy the remaining players. That's it for now. Join our stream and find out more at PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Europe. See you on the battlegrounds.
Hello everyone, Drowny with you, and you are watching This Is Not a Drill. Players will try to give as many correct answers to questions related to PUBG Mobile as possible. Who will keep me company today?
Hi guys, I'm Michi, I'm the IGL of the Team Big.
Let's go! How many ARs are in the game? A9, B10 or a C12?
10.
That's correct. What bullets are used for a UMP45? The 9mm one in A, 7.62mm or in C45 ACP?
ACP.
That's correct. Which weapon has the highest clip capacity? A, the P90, B, the P92 or C, the P18C?
P90.
That's correct. How many LMGs are there in the game? A, 3, B, 4 or C2?
2.
That's correct. Machete, crowbar, sickle. What's missing from this list? A knife, B, a pen, or C, the katana?
A knife.
That's not correct. A knife, B, pen, or C, the katana?
Katana.
Ah, it's the pen one. 7. What's the most powerful sniper rifle in the game? The A? So let's see how many correct answers this player gave.
It is time to kick off our final match of the entire event of the PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Europe 2021. And at the end of this match, we'll finally know who's taking home the big prize pool. And we're obviously going to find out how much they'll take home when we do finish things off. I have been updated just for you guys to know at home. Remember, there is no community voting going into this last match, but they're feeling nice enough to give you guys a free code anyway. So when we get into the game, make sure you guys are paying attention. Make sure you guys are ready to enter the code into the game as quick as possible so you can redeem some sweet items for yourself. And speaking of sweet things, look at this. A 4-point difference between Fireflux and Team Unique. Technically, I'd say almost any, I'd say any team in the top 5, 6 maybe? I don't know. I'm still struggling to say even outside of top 3 can potentially take away this first place spot.
Yeah, I would say top 5, because I think the most you've seen in like the final game of each day has been like maybe 110, 120, especially, you know, we got lower in the second day because teams were getting used to it. But it's very, very close between the top 3. Papara, Supermassive Blaze, they haven't really showed up today, Tarzan, so maybe this last game is where they really shine, and they started each day in the first 2 days with a chicken dinner. Let's see if they can end the third one with one.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys said top 5, might as well say top 7. After it's like 10, 12 points separating those teams. So, but on this page, right, like, I'm thinking about mentality. I think it's what you mentioned earlier, Imperium. It's great to mention that again. We talked about fun. We talked about like what to use this tournament for. Some of these teams could just go in and find a way that, you know, can actually help them go further and not get too tunneled into certain things. I think like that is what I mean by that, and Mihi for sure told us that fun was very important in how they played this tournament.
Well, speaking of fun, we're going into Erangel Arcane as the last match here of the day, and I feel like if you're one of those teams right now who does not have a chance of taking first place, just try to minimize the amount of money you might lose here in this final round so you can keep as much as possible in your bank account and into your pockets. But guys, we've already had, I mean, 2 days of action-packed final matches of Erangel Arcane. I really, yet again, cannot wait to see what we have happen here. I mean, yesterday, Sirens were able to take the victory. We'll find out who can do it here today. But let's maybe check in really quickly with the balance all the teams do have in their accounts and how much money they could look to walk away with if they can take the victory here on the final match.
Money, money, money. Must be funny. I don't know where it's going with that, guys, to be honest. But Exquisite Decode dropping down
after the broadcast.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well, I blame Tarzan for
what
talking about it earlier on. Vodafone Giants, Exquisite Decode dropping down once again. But Flux and Big specifically kind of really holding strong in terms of their prize money, and they're in with the chance of winning the whole thing.
You know what? I feel like personally, I want more focus on this page. Some of these teams should take a screenshot of this, because this system really reflects how many key mistakes you've made, right? It's so you don't want to go early, and there's a bar there that we say good teams should have a good level of aggression, be able to execute. So, like, I think this is more important than people think. That might be just me, but after all, there's still some, work to be done if they want to keep every single penny.
One final thing because I didn't really get to touch upon it in the standings, and it's a little bit relevant when it comes to the prize money, is Conqueror. They started the day on 130 points in 14th, and they've ended so far on 269 points in 9th. They've had a hell of a good day.
Nice. 8,910 bucks to win at the moment if you do take the title of champion, but that tally will still go up in the final match here. Well, obviously people and teams going to be adding to the prize pool. So you're looking at potentially like 10,000 bucks, actually 11, maybe 12,000 bucks, depending on how this game finishes off here for our #1 team, which at the moment Flux, Unique, and Big are all fighting for. Now that makes me do wonder though, going to this final match, you're trying to minimize the money you might lose. Are you going to play extra safe? Are other teams going to be even extra aggressive, knowing that they have a chance to go for the right? Or the teams who are potentially outside of like top 3 and 4, as we're talking like 5, 6, 7th place, are they going to go extra crazy to try to build up enough kill points? Because they realize we got to get so many kills if we want to have a chance for that champion title.
Yeah, like, it's a good question under normal circumstances, even normal circumstances of the games that we've had so far. But don't forget, we're going into Arcane mode and with the Miramar mod, so every team can afford to like hot drop on that initial island, grab hopefully 1 to 2 to 3 kills, and then they'll spawn back into the mainland, and they can do it once the other islands pop up. So in my eyes, just go hard, go home, plug it in, and get as many kills as you can.
Well, normally we do predictions, but we're going to do a prediction of the tournament winner. Professor Tarzan, going into this final match, who do you think is going to be the champion at the end of the day?
It's so hard to pick. You know what?
You have to be
I'm
quick,
picking. I'm gonna pick Unique. I'm gonna pick Unique
right.
for their consistency.
Imperium?
Big. Gotta support my Western boys.
Well, let's find out as we head into the final time of the PMSC 2021 with Copter and Sven Cargo.
As Imperium said, let's see just how many kills that they can get in our very last match of this. Jinx was here. Let's see how this match is going to go. We, of course, know they usually want to go ahead and drop up on one of these islands, and it's going to be absolute chaos. A lot of kills, a lot of fights happening, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, this Arcane has been definitely something, and I mean, 3rd time's the charm, so let's see what's going to happen. I mean, I think the teams have been like preparing the strategies, how to get the maximum amount of points from this map. And we can see all the players still on the plane. So I do have a feeling this is going to be something very epic, to be honest. So when they will just find themselves on the Mirror Island and they're going to be jumping right now, then they will start the battle straight away, and they don't have that much space to land.
Looks like some of them are also staying inside of it. Maybe they're going for that other island, but here we go. The majority of the teams already dropping down right now. Cannot wait to see exactly where they're going to be going. But of course, we got to go ahead and do a shout out to Xiaomi. Support your creative expression without limits with Xiaomi 11T's Cinemagic Power.
And these guys, they will definitely show the creative expression as they will land here, get the weapons, get the loot, and start fighting the enemy. So we can see the damage coming over already towards Reef. Reef's going to fall down. It's going to be actually S2G who's going to get that knock. I think there's going to be so many things happening. We can see a lot of players falling down. Damage is coming towards Rolkis. We can see next Rüya getting the damage as well. GK first, very low on HP as well. And Kelsey just jumping down all the way from the Mirror Island already. Doesn't want to wait any of that anymore.
And there's this code that we were talking about. Redeem it for in-game rewards. So it's BUBRZOZX6A. Go on ahead, redeem it, get some rewards, and otherwise, let's see who's going to go on ahead and just start raking in the kills at this point. Reminder, 6 points per kill right now, and they do not die while on the island. They will respawn somewhere on the Erangel map. So this is the perfect place to just start stacking up those points.
Yeah, we can see Will taken down, so Navi's gonna be hunting down one of the players from the Exquisite Decode, gonna be getting a point, 6 points by the way, so basically if you kill the guys twice on the first 10 minutes, you get like 12 kills, you can get like double amount of kills, but yeah, let's not worry about that one. We can see Wolf finding players from the Konina Power, we can see Goldie getting Evo Station, now we have a real fight going on, we can see Blaze actually losing 2 players already, so Virtus.pro, they will find the third one as well, there we go! Whitey connecting those shots, Wolf is gonna be finding Konina Power plays as well, but Virtus.pro, they are definitely here for the play, and we can see Pride also losing players who will not anymore get back onto the game. So definitely, I mean, we have lost more than 10 players as a whole.
Major Pride actually being officially eliminated. They were in 6th place before this match, and now I don't think they're going to be in 6th place any longer. That's kind of rough to see there, but there's still a bunch of fighting happening on top of Mirror Island here. There are real fights happening below, but definitely not as many. There we go. We can see even more members from Virtus.pro going down as Big actually is getting involved. It looks like the other half of Big are still up on top of this island, though. Mihi going for a spray onto Matic. Navi going to be losing one. Of course, he's going to be spawning lower on the ground, but he needs to pick up more of these points. He got 6 already. They have 11 kills. Wait a second. That's insane.
That is a lot of kills. I mean, that's 66 points right there, and maybe some team wipes as well. And I don't know what's going to happen, by the way, with the team wipe points. Does it only apply when you wipe the team for good from the actual Erangel map, so not from the mirror side? But, I mean, 11 kills, they have a great place. They have taken the central place. They have got the weapons, and they were kind of like holding the higher ground. So all the land which is available on the Mirror's Island, they were covering that one. Miki with a shotgun going to be challenging down Blaze. And Blaze, I mean, they lost some members already, but I guess he's going to be getting that one, so Michi's going to fall down. Jettle's going to be getting Michi at the same time as well, so that's going to be getting stolen by the Surreal Esports somehow.
Oh, look at where Fresh is up there for Unicorns of Love. They're just chilling up there, up on top of the tower. It doesn't look like they're able to grab any weapons, so they're just going to lay prone up there for as long as possible until, of course, the island despawns and another one appears. In the meantime, Papara Supermassive Blaze also eliminated. Also a team that was on the top of the board. 4th place already out in 15.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how Jetkill actually stole that knock. Was he able to shoot down from the Mirror's Island, from the edge of the island? But yeah, that's going to be a completely different story, so let's not get stuck with it. We can see Yasha putting an A towards Vodafone Giants. Yasha's going to be just flanking, trying to get some cover from the fence line. We can see Jetkill staying here on the Mirror's Island. Yasha just running away. Let's see, he's going to be jumping down. He wants to get away from the island. I guess that's the idea. And he's going to be definitely, jumping down. So he's going to just take that parachute. And there we go. We have the energy drink advertisement as well. But yeah. Not gonna matter here, and this is the Whitey situation when he was doing a lot of damage towards Blaze, 2 players down, Tran as well, so there was only 1 solo player remaining who was actually challenging the situation in the buildings earlier when we saw Jetkill actually stealing that knock.
Yeah, there you go. Yasha will jump off because the island has despawned and straight into a vehicle. There you go. Now they're going to be able to go ahead and meet up with the rest of the team and figure out how else they want to play the game. Champion Island has spawned, though, so we might continue to see some fighting happening up on top of islands right as people go ahead and try to launch themselves up there. Navi is still on the military island. There you go. Speaking of people launching themselves up there, look like Conqueror is one of them. Uh-oh. Reeves. Oh, Reeves gets taken down. Rito tries to go down, I think, for the res, but gets trapped right back inside of it. Wolf, yeah, they just have to leave their teammate. Wolf completely ruining that almost for that team. Exquisite Decode also going up, and it looks like S2G kind of tried to make a stop for that as well.
Yeah, we saw yesterday the similar situations happening when the teams were escaping to the beam of light. And, well, seems that Exquisite Decode is going to be escaping from that situation. We can see Luna falling down, so Goddess Sirens going to be getting some casualties. Diabla trying to leave from the whole situation. We can see Gloria holding the kind of like the beam of light placement. Next Rüya is going to be right there. Frozen gets the damage. There's going to be a knock happening as well. So Kudu's going to get that one down. Chica first going to be finding Timber at the same time. And Kudu holding that, trying to make sure that Unique doesn't get on the beam of light. One point is going to be getting on that one, though. Rock is finding finding Timber at the same time as well. As we can see, Goddess Sirens definitely in trouble. And next, Rüya just coming and pushing the whole situation. Lino, as the only player on the current situation, just completely in trouble because next Rüya, I think they have two of them. So Kudur and Nihat inside of the shelter entry, and she has a Gloria behind the other rock. So that's going to be a 2 versus 2 situation for now.
Unfortunately, they're tossing all their nades not in the correct direction. Doesn't matter, though, because Gloria will be able to get it off into at least one of them. One more left to go, and we can see, wait a second, one more member from Goddess Sirens also sends it on in. So it's a 3v1, if I'm not mistaken. They're now going for the flush. It looks like Nihat ended up finding himself a little bit of a safe haven down below inside of course, shelter. I don't think he's going to be able to get out of there for a while now as a solo, but back up on top of Champion Islands, look at that Unique going on ahead and picking up a bunch of kills already. A couple more people still up here, such as Surreal.
Yeah, they have 2 hammers, I think 1 sniper, so they're going to be having, players equipped for the close distance battles, but also for the longer distance battles. It's a nice strategy if you can actually move as a more than one-man stack, so definitely when you can cover both distances. Frozen will spot down Enjoy, and he should fall down, and that's about it. So Enjoy's going to fall down, Jovi's going to find that one, Aku's going to be trying to escape, the hammer's going to be doing the job, they're going to put the nail down, and that's the job well done. 1 player more falling down from the Surreal Esports, going to be, of course, landing back to their Erangel because the kills on the Champion Island, they are not final. But I think that's unique. They're just trying to wipe down the whole island.
Oh, and we saw Mihi going ahead and appear up there as well. But of course, Nihat, we got a Sirens just decide to go for the push. Nihat's going to be able to take down one, another super low. But of course, Gloria's going to be able to make the big push happen. And it's actually going to be eliminated by Goddess Sirens. So next Rüya Gaming out. Let's see what Big's going to do now. Trying to chase down a member of Conqueror still up on top of the island. They just want as many points as possible. Right now, Unique trying to stop them as well. Only 5 kills for Unique so far. Kind of curious to see how many Big has.
I mean, both Unique and Big, they are moving as a 4-man stack on that island, and there's only 1 player from Conqueror actually who's going to be trying to somehow stay alive. But I'm just waiting what's going to happen when they will focus completely on each other's, and that's going to be happening right now. Mine is going to be getting that damage towards Goldie. Those are dealing a lot of damage, and you can basically, they work as a nades. Wow. Navi is going to be taken down as a whole. They are gone. They are gone from the tournament. They are not on the server anymore, and this is the last game, so you don't see those guys anymore. As we can see, Raids, he has put it down, the Surreal Esports player Akun, and of course wants to take down. He's going to be hiding behind that eggshell cover, a green-colored one, so that's maybe a dinosaur egg, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you can also hide as a bush.
Very true. Unique still walking around here. I mean, Big currently with the 14 kills, absolutely insane. Unique, I mean, they're pretty far behind in terms of the kills there. Have 6 so far, but definitely going to want to pick up some more. You can see that the zone is halfway closed, so this is still the 6 points per kill point that they should start going on ahead and utilizing. There we go. Swave coming with a big punch here as V going to a ton of damage until one of the members of Unique, but they're also trying to do a ton of damage back. Actually, all of Unique playing the same character right now.
Yeah, that's a proper beating. I mean, Big definitely, well, they had a chance on that fight, but in the end, it's going to be Unique who's going to winning that one. And meanwhile, we have Unique on the floor, and Exquisite Decode as well on a different island. That's going to be right on the southern side of Ruins, of course, high up in the air. We can see Fresh, I don't know where the damage is coming from. There's going to be 13 all the way coming, but he's not losing any HP, so that should be fine. We can see a Unique. They are here with the Fire Flux on the different island. That's going to be between the shelter and farm, if I'm not completely mistaken, but doesn't really matter. Fresh is going to be, of course, Exquisite Decode. They want to get a kill on Fresh. That's going to be how many points? It's going to be, by the way, 4-point kill if they will get that done. But the Fresh going to be, he has some kind of flames coming out of him, so that's a completely different weapon. Doesn't have the gloves, doesn't have the sniper, but has some kind of fireballs.
And it looks like Fireflux also still finally starting to make the big push onto Unique. Unique won this against Big. Now let's see if they're going to be able to win it again against Fireflux. Fireflux currently in that first place spot. Unique actually in that second place spot. So these fights are actually super important right here. Of course, both of them wanting a ton of points at this point. I think Unique is a little bit ahead of Fireflux. Only 5 kills for them, while Unique has a couple of more. Let's see who's going to come out on top. There we go. Uh-oh, kind of missing with his current weapon. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be able to be going up on top of the concrete platform there.
Yeah, I mean, Unique, they have 9 kills. So they have, I think they have made a lot of points on this game, definitely. So, I mean, these points, they are huge when you think about the overall situation. Now, because if Flux going for it, because you have Jallo defending it, Jovi's going to be just getting out of that gate, going to be shooting towards the other direction. Razy, he's going to be the target now. Mine is going to be getting that one together with Jovi, so Razy's going to be taken down. So Flux, they are gone from the Champion Island as well. As meanwhile, we can see Virtus.pro, they're bullying towards Redox, the last guy from Conqueror Island, and Exquisite Decode on the other side. And now they will get rid of that solo player, and they will start fighting. There's something big happening between them. There's a huge, I don't know what that dude is, but he looks damn scary.
Yeah, he's chasing all right. Virtus.pro's not happy about that. Tried sending it off onto Exquisite Decode, but didn't quite work. There we go, Mishi going on ahead and coming back big. Still want to continue to absolutely just grab as many points as possible here. Still going to be able to pick up a ton of points because Big, oh man, they still have 14 kills so far and they want more. Here we go, taking on the fight with Virtus.pro as well. Looks like they're going to be able to take down another one. Yasha, they need to go on ahead and get out of there if they're hoping to survive, but Big, they're just absolutely chasing. There you go, looks like they're a little bit distracted, going to be away from them for a bit, and of course these other guys still chasing some of these teams, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think Big, they're really mastering the railgun. I mean, we can see those lot of damage coming from that one. When they will identify the enemies and get the nice angle, they will just destroy them down. Now we can see Beast going with the gloves. Let's see what they will do. They will try to get behind Virtus.pro, and there's just very sneaky play coming from them. We can see Yasha trying to defend, gets a lot of damage, going to be very low on HP, should be falling down, and that is exactly what's going to be happening when Swave is going to be getting a hit with those gloves, because Beast going after Skillses, and he's definitely in trouble because there's 4 players for Big chasing him down, and Skills is completely alone with a sniper rifle, deals the damage, gets this green bottle. I don't know what's going to be doing, but anyway, he has the bottle, and Beast is going to be coming with the gloves, and he should be gone, and there we go, the railgun damage from Mishi will finish up the job.
Yeah, even healing in the middle of it was not enough. Now let's see what's happening on the other island. It looks like, unfortunately, forgot his Sirens just getting beat up by another team up on top of them. That's going to be the end of that for right now. And of course, back to Big, more people still appearing up on top of this little island. They're just going for it completely. Down below, though, we can see VP Yasha has now made their way down here, taking a fight with the entirety of Surreal so far. Jekyll unfortunately goes down. Enjoy Arshoon still alive to try and help him out. Meanwhile, the rest of them... Vodafone Giants still up on top now. They also need a lot more kills. Unique, though. Oh, just so strong. Pocus gets down one, but he's super low HP. Just one more hit takes him down.
Yeah, he's going to fall down a bit. They're back on the action. Will's going to take the damage this time. Daddy's going to be hiding behind the building. We got this Wave going for the flank, and they will just get these guys cornered behind the buildings. The damage comes from Swave. Daddy is going to fall down, and just one player, Will, inside of which Wave is going to be shooting his teammates as well. But that's going to be end of Will. It's got to be happening as Wave, again, with the railgun, will get that kill. And I mean, these guys, they cannot stay for long on the Champion Island, and more people are feeding on top of that island. I mean, Big and Unique, they're just getting those kills and getting those points. So maybe it would be smart for the other teams not to go for the islands anymore.
Yeah, Big in third, 19 kills so far. It's just finally phase 2. So all of those were 6+ points. Unique currently... the floor down, clearly trying to make something big happen with 17 kills so far, 4 still up. A lot of people actually are out, still just 12 teams left. Surprised actually by how many teams ended up going out so early. But of course, now's the time where we start seeing more and more people just go up onto Erangel and take those fights. Look like Yasha is still trying to take out all of Surreal by themselves. But at least it looks like Skills has finally now joined them.
Yep, Yasha wants to get the straight towards the Surreal Esports. Going to be dodging that vehicle just barely, but gets the kill. Yasha finds a Q, at least gets the knock as well. Let's see what's going to happen with Enjoy. That's the last guy from Surreal Esports on this situation. But Yasha, with that nade, knows the location of Enjoy. Can we see one of those magical nades coming? Going to throw that one. He's going to be driving away with the buggy. This one is going to be coming from Yasha and connects and gets him down almost 1-2 HP. But Exquisite Decode, they're going to be waiting there. And Enjoy, in the end, will fall down. Yasha's going to find a Q as well. Daddy's gonna find Enjoy, and that is the end of the team.
Yeah, Surreal in 7th now out. Let's see what else everybody else is going to do. Looks like Fireflux also in a ton of damage right now, going up against Unicorns of Love. Phantom off in the distance. You can see him doing some damage, but the fight kind of pausing for right now because of how far they are. Meanwhile, Beast for Big. We know that there's still 4 of them up. They're just trying to rake in points. 20 kills for themselves so far this match. And now they already have their sights set on an entire other team. Looks like Virtus.pro getting a little bit too close for Beast's comfort, though. A little bit of damage in his direction. But I don't think, I was going to say, I don't think that they're going to stop there, but unfortunately wrong. Look, they stopped right beside him. Beast, I don't think, realizing that.
Yeah, 20 kills. That's a lot of kills. Unique 17 kills so far, and we have 3 other teams as well with a double-digit amount of kills already. So Vodafone Giants, Exquisite Decode, and Virtus.pro, they have been able to get 10 kills as well. So that's a lot of kills for the single game. Yes, it's gonna fall down. So Big is gonna be finding that one. We can see Razy getting Phantom from the Unicorns of Love. She's gonna find Yasha in the end. Gonna be getting a flush as well. That's gonna be 22 kills,
Wow.
21 kills for them, and Exquisite Decode at the same time falling down as well. So 22 kills for Big. So I don't remember when I have seen the last time so big numbers for the kills. I know that this is arcane mode, but still, it's going to be very impressive getting 22 kills, and we have only played, 16 and a half minutes, 17 minutes.
Yeah, and they still have more to go. There's still 4 of them all up. You can see Unique has 4 up, 3 up. There's still a lot of teams that have a good amount of people still left, 24 still alive. At this point, though, yeah, we haven't really seen that many more islands, so it looks like everybody's kind of committed to playing in real life, as I'll quote it, because this is where you can actually go on ahead and be taken out. The next zone is going to be closing very shortly, and fortunately for Vodafone Giants, Nano, he's getting a little bit too close for comfort to an entire 4-man team Unique, but it looks like maybe he's just going on by, and we'll see where everybody's going to need to go next. Oh, it's actually nice. It kind of centers onto Pachinki.
Yeah, it's a pretty fair circle, to be honest. I mean, all the teams can quite easily get inside. Of course, Fire Flux, they will have to do some work, but there isn't that many teams on the eastern side. We have 1 player from the Konina Power still on the northern side, on the east as well. But yeah, it should be pretty fair, to be honest. So most teams should get inside. We have 1 team, at least 1 player from Goddess Sirens still inside of Pachinki. And then the northern side, I mean, Big, Conqueror, VP. And I mean, Big, they're a 4-man stack. So if they will come and take, for example, the northern hill of Pachinki, the Churchill, I mean, there's a lot of damage they can do. They can get like a 2, 3, 4 kills maybe from that place. And then if we think about the Unique, which is kind of like the other team that has been getting a lot of kills, they have, I would say that they don't have so many kills available from the current location. So they will have to move and to get more kills.
Well, it looks like Vodafone Giants has now found themselves a spot. Taking it right below them is actually Fire Flux. I'll be interested to see if they're going to do anything to each other. A lot of teams now going into Pachinki. It does look like everybody at this point is kind of just committed to being spread out. It looks like Fire Flux unfortunately has to deal with some people making a run towards them, but hopefully they'll be able to take care of that. You can just hear you laughing in the background of them just running.
Yeah, did you see one of those monsters they followed in real life as well? I mean, Fire Flux, they had one of the guys from the Champion Island following them on real life.
Yeah, I did see that. You know, I there are a couple of places that do have like kind of stuff on the map on Erangel, and that's kind of an area where some of it is. So maybe they're allowed to be down there. But it also looks like Big now finally making their way towards this circle. Kind of excited to see what they're going to be doing here. Driving by a lot of unactivated island jump things, and now you can see Pachinki still has some people. I'm curious to see where Big's going to set up, because I'm kind of keeping an eye on Big. I just want to see how many more points that they're going to be able to scrape up, because the amount of points they have right now is insane.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of points. 22 kills. There's no words to describe that amount of performance. And, well, Big, they're just arriving at the circle. They are holding the north and west side of Pachinki currently. We do have actually Conqueror going for the church. We have Virtus.pro trying to find a place. So we have some solo players who are currently on the northern side of Pachinki. And then on the southern tip, we have S2G. And I think they have 2 players still remaining. So they don't have the full stack, but they definitely want tread on that location. Vodafone Giants, Fire Flux, they're kind of like staying on the same area as, well, each other's. And then Unique, they haven't yet left the Potato Hill, so they're kind of like slowly thinking how they will play this whole situation. But they're just thinking about it, and maybe they will start the rotation pretty soon as well. But yeah, they have some vehicles, yeah, so it should be fine.
Definitely interested to see how everybody in this circle is going to go on ahead and fare for the rest of this match. But I gotta say, Big, Team Unique, Fire Flux, those 3 teams definitely need to keep an eye on, because those are current 3rd, 2nd, 1st place teams as of right now. And, you know, Unique, they end up holding their own as well with the 17 kills. Big does have 22, but Unique might still be holding on to their position over Big. Big really trying to go on ahead and jump them with how many points they've picked up. Kind of curious to see if they're going to be able to pull it off in the end.
Yeah, now the whole action like slows down. We still have a decent amount of teams. I mean, 10 teams remaining. So that's a lot of teams for after 20 minutes, to be honest, with the current point settings. 21 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. So I don't think that we have seen a single game before this where we have 10 teams after 20 minutes remaining. So this is definitely teams are taking this more seriously. They understand what is the point situation. They understand what is the impact of the game here on the Arcane mode, how many kills they actually got there. And now they want to guarantee, kind of like get a little bit more serious to actually be able to collect that prize pool money for themselves.
Exactly. They know that every single point matters at this point. This is the last match where if they needed to catch up, they definitely would have been able to. I think that's why Big has so many kill points. They knew exactly what they needed to do. But now this zone has hard shifted up to the northeastern side. I mean, luckily there's not that many teams, and it looks like all of Pachinki is basically inside of this zone. So not too many teams have to actually make a move on up to the northern side. But definitely, since this is basically in Pachinki Fields, I have a feeling a lot of people are going to start just sending themselves into Pachinki, getting in some fights there. Otherwise, some will be able to hunker down into safety, but a lot of fighting over here on this Pachinki side in the future.
Yeah. Just a small reminder, I mean, before we came to the game, Flux, they had 440 points. We had Team Unique with 436 points, only 4 points behind. So Team Unique, they have passed Flux, and Big, they had 18 points less than Team Unique. And now when we calculate the kills, I think Unique and Big, they're pretty much par currently on the lead. And I think that they have dropped down Flux, but I think all these three teams, they still have the chance for the victory of this tournament. So that was the score situation. So definitely these three teams, they need to be able to get the maximum out of the end game. Those are the teams who are fighting from the victory of the tournament. So that is definitely the reason why they are slowing down.
Exactly, and it looks like a couple more teams still just sending it on in. Of course, some of these other teams do have the opportunity to get higher. They do not stop gaining points, gaining what the prize pool is as of right now. So they're going to keep playing this game to the best of their abilities as well. It looks like Vodafone Giants, for example, currently in the very base of the fields down there, kind of trying to hold off everybody. It looks like, wow, Virtus.pro setting up with the little shields there in a perfect little location all the way down to the southern side. Nobody really wants to prioritize that location, so I have a feeling they're going to be safe for now, unless for some reason Flux decides that they want that spot. But it looks like they're actually going east for now. They could actually be running into Unique. That would be an interesting fight. Oh no, they're going back west.
I mean, the whole cover, I mean, it seems to be, oh, it's going to start raining. I'm just going to open Umbrella. That's the case. That's how it looks. But Skills is going to be using that cover very smartly. Going to build a huge hard cover for himself. It's going to be completely piled here. Going to be covering a lot of angles with that cover. And if he can actually land that nade, it's a huge play. It's going to go straight towards Flux. Can we see something? Yes, we can! Racy taken down. A nade is going to come on the right side of the fence as well. That's going to be Virtus.pro taken down. But I mean, what a play. Putting that cover and using the nade as well. So definitely well done. Unfortunately, not going to be rewarded by the point because there's going to be a revival happening, but still a great play from Virtus.pro.
Really tried to. Those nades for both sides were perfect. All of them were already thrown before his nade went off, so he would have been taken out anyway, even if his nade took down two of the members of Flux there. So both nades, great nades from both sides. And of course, Zone pulling back towards Pachinki. This will in fact be a city ending. That's really exciting for our last game, actually, because city endings usually a little bit more drawn out because there's so many places to play from, so much hard cover. So we're gonna have to see how these guys are gonna start utilizing that. S2G, unfortunately, one of their members goes down, needs to get that res quickly before everybody else inside the zone decides to crash into the city.
Yeah, Flux, they're just watching from the southern side. They have identified Vodafone Giants on the eastern side, and they are not all of them, at least, inside of the zone. So they have one player inside. We can see another standoff happening here as the goddess Sirens. They have Lino, and then they do have Vito from the Conqueror inside of it. And the spray will be connecting, doesn't get the knock though, and that's going to be a surprise happening right now. Vito's going to fall down, and that should be the end of Conqueror as well. As a whole, no, they still have one player actually remaining. Redox is out of the building, so it was a solo situation. They have two solos like spread on the different buildings. We can see Redox nading towards Big, so Big is going to be smelling that there might be some points available for them, and they need those points. They want to be kind of like closing the gap towards Unique. We don't know what is the current situation, but yeah, definitely Big, they are at least very close towards Unique and Flux.
Yeah, and Big right now playing outside in these little, like, trap things. What am I calling these? Trenches. There we go. Word filled right on my head. Playing in these trenches, they are just outside of the city. They can try to control both the edges inside the city and out inside the field. And of course, the team that they're playing against is unique, that we can see right here in front of us. They're not inside of the zone just yet. They're trying to take this as slow as possible, probably just waiting for more fighting inside of Pubg to really start up. So then when the blue zone's upon them, then they can go ahead and make a move. Hopefully more people will be out there then, and then they could take advantage. Or they could just go right now, because who cares, and just go crash on the big potentially.
Yeah, you need to go. I mean, sometimes. Oh, they will go for the big. They will definitely go. Jalo gets the spray. Gonna be losing his life. Gold is gonna go down. Jalo down, and they will just wipe them down. There we go. Down, going down one by one. Sway, Fresh gets busy at the same time, and that's the end. Team Unique, they will fall. Big will get those points, and Big is gonna be losing some players as well. But I mean, what a crash and what a defending from Big.
Wow, I did not expect that whatsoever. I thought that they were just going to go on ahead and patiently wait, but that is not the case. Big now potentially has the opportunity to jump Unique. Of course, I'm not going to do the caster math because I don't want to be wrong. And Big still alive. They have an opportunity to get even more. Of course, S2G. Looks like Silas really tried to go on ahead and make something happen, tossing some nades. Was able to go on ahead and take down one, but not take them out just yet. Again, next zone about to close. Here comes Vodafone Giants. S2G doesn't want them close to them, so they're going to shoot them off, force them down to the southern side a little bit more. And of course, Circle still on Pubg City.
Yeah, and I mean, Big 26 kills for now. So that's that is definitely a statement for the others. They are showing that they are definitely capable of getting a high amount of kills in a single game. But the Circle, just like you said, going to be getting inside of Pubg, so Big will have to relocate. S2G, they can still stay on the building, which they're currently holding. On the northern side, Konina Power, Goddess, Sirens, Unicorns of Love, and Conqueror will have to find their places. They will have to settle on some of those buildings, and most probably there will be some overlaps happening as well. As we can see here, also Flux and Vodafone Giants, they will have to both move. And what I think is happening here is that Flux is kind of like waiting the move from the Vodafone Giants and the vice versa. So they are kind of like stuck here with each other for a while. So at some point they will have to open the fire, and then they will have to start moving towards the circle at the same time as well.
Here we go. The smoke line starting to come up. Vodafone Giants could potentially start taking advantage of this. Probably going to take some sprays towards Fireflux, so they're going to need to be careful as they run through the smoke. There you go. Already a bunch of bullets raining towards Solus there, but he has a little bit of a cover right there to use for now. He's probably going to make a run for it. They do have a buggy behind that pipe. I wonder if one of them's going to try to start driving for it. But even if they drive closer, they still have to be careful, because we can see that S2G is still kind of close to that location where they'd be pulling on up. There we go. Crazy. The rest of them starting to take vehicles. They're just going to crash that closest building. Silas getting ready for the crash, though. Going to try to take down potentially even one, or he's just going to go on ahead and take that information. He probably knows that there's no point trying to stop it right now. Oh, but he almost gets one. Wait, no, he ran out of bullets right at the last moment.
Almost, but the almost is not a kill, unfortunately. But yeah, now it's going to be time for the other players to move as well. Vodafone Giants are going to be making the late move. We have actually Fireflux now holding them down for a while. Vodafone Giants, they had the angle towards Fireflux when they left to the smokes, and that's going to end up focus at the same time as well. Papa's going to fall down to Razy, so Fireflux, they're getting the kills from the Vodafone Giants, and they are losing down one by one as the whole Vodafone Giants, they are completely gone. And also Conqueror's going to be losing at the same time as well. So down to 5 teams we go, 11 players remaining. Teague from Konina Power is going to be taken down as well. So that's going to be 1 team less as well. And Big, they are still rocking the show. They are here to stay. They need to move. Circle has been moving towards the western side. Sirens going to be taken down as well. So down to 4 teams and 10 players we go. But I mean, Fireflux playing the southern side. Then we have the 3 other teams on the northern side of the Pubg, and Fireflux, they will have to cross that road at some point. And I mean, S2G, they're in the perfect place to get them down.
Raze just had the nastiest nade ever. That was insane. But okay, here we go. Up to the northern side. Unicorns of Love going to be able to go ahead and do a little bit of damage onto an enemy team. Swave Big also trying to start tossing some nades. You're right, it is mostly Fireflux that needs to make a move on forward. But Ray Z inside of a building right now, they could potentially just play against the little fence there, a concrete wall. But they're definitely going to try to use Util to flush them out. But here we go. Looks like Owner P going to try and toss some back. Hurt S2G. They got a knock on a 1. They don't want the rest to come through, and it looks like they will be able to get the flush onto 1. 7 almost goes down 2, but he's going to be able to run out of danger just in time. So still, even though they're on the southern side kind of stuck, it looks like Fireflux still able to do a lot of damage from down here. Unicorns of Love, I think, kind of owns the majority of this zone, which is unfortunate because they just lost one.
Yeah, great nades coming. I mean, those nades were completely dead on.
Oh my gosh.
Sevin takes the damage as well, because if Fireflux still with the 3 players remaining 11 kills. Well, they are currently holding, I guess, the 3rd place on the overall ranking, so let's see what they can still save from here. They have a chance to get something done, but I think they need to get all the kills. They need to get all the flush points as well. Swave is going to find 7. That's going to be 5 points wasted from them. S2G is going to be taken down, so 3 teams and 7 players. Big with 3, Fireflux with 3, and then we have just Unicorns of Love only fresh remaining, and we can see the zone is going to be shifting between Fireflux and Unicorns of Love. So I mean, Fireflux, they might have a chance to actually get a lot of points away from this one still.
Oh, except Unicorns of Love up on top of the roof, unfortunately, will just be taken out. So Fireflux, really the only team inside of this zone. That means Big's going to have to go towards them. The thing is, Fireflux currently in that 1st place position. They do not have as many kills as Big has been getting this entire time with 28. I feel like this might be the fight that determines that top team right now. 1st, 3rd place teams. Again, not going to do the math because I don't want to get it wrong, but this is a really important fight. Kind of curious to see who's going to come out on top of this. Fireflux, we know them to be a little bit more patient in fights like these. They are a great team to fight against, usually wins a lot, and they have the zone advantage. Meanwhile, Big, though, they've been absolutely killing it this entire match so far, so kind of curious to see if they're going to be able to continue that for this very last match.
Yeah, I mean, Fireflux, they have the corner building, and Rüya is going to be opening fire, will drop down Swave, so that is definitely a place to be.
There we go. Now it looks like Owner P starting to make the big push happen. Swave goes down, so there's only 2 members of Big left. There we go. P's down in the open. Unfortunately for him, Solus will take him down. That means it's just down to Goldie as the last one alive for Big. No way. He walks right into this shack. He's going to be trapped there. All of Fireflux knows exactly where he is, and with some bullets and the blue zone damage, the match is over. And winner, winner, chicken dinner. That is going to be a win for Fireflux Esports.
Yeah, that's the 2nd chicken dinner for them already today. And I mean, I cannot really be talking less about Big getting 28 kills in a solo game. So that's going to be a huge amount of points, and that just might make a huge difference on the overall rankings.
Insane, insane. Like we said, Fireflux still able to pick up a good amount of kills, but Big as well. Let's go ahead, throw it over to the panel, and see what those overall points are going to be.
I could not tell you Spend Cargo and Copter. Actually, I probably could tell you who's most likely going to be the champion at the end of the event now, considering how things broke down between a couple of individual teams. But I don't want to spoil things just yet while we tally all the totals in the back end. But I want to say this at least, guys. Fireflux, what the hell is with them and Arcane Mod, man? This team has been so consistent. They've had a top 2 finish 3 days in a row. They've had 2 chicken dinners and a 2nd place finish yesterday on this map.
Yeah, really strong results from them. They played a healthy balance of kind of calculated play at the start to really strong finish towards the end, so really can't argue with how they performed. And the only team to win 2 chicken dinners in 1 day of this tournament, back to back as well, Tarzan.
Man, but you know what? Like, we need to talk about those points. It's about time that we crown the winner. Not yet, we're almost there, but we look at is the difference between good and better, right?
Oh.
FF made it to the end. They won, but look at Big in the side of Unique. The way that they played those early games, they racked up so many kill points just in that phase.
I'm sorry, I'm about to cut in here, ladies and gentlemen. Press the stars and Imperium, after all of you watching at home, our champion of the Mobile Star Challenge Europe 2021 is indeed Big Clan. You guys can talk about them. You don't have to be so shocked and silent.
I wasn't sure.
Such a
I wanted to let it just settle for a second, Jason. I wasn't sure, but what a performance from them, right? They won the first game today. They came in with purpose. The interview with me and how he was having a bit of fun and really enjoying himself along with the rest of the team in these games. And that final game, what was it, Tarzan? 25 or 22 kills?
28 kills was what they got. It's an amazing game. You know what else I love about this? Is the journey of this team. They stayed together. God forbid how many teams drifted apart after a bad season. They stayed together. They talked up candidly about the issue with playstyle to balance aggression and defensive style. Came in so strong. Won it for Western Europe as well.
I mean, let's also talk about the fact they didn't qualify for the European Regional Championship. They didn't qualify for PMGC because of that, of not getting to the next stage, or at least having the opportunity. But they end off their year on a high note. And luckily for us, we have the man, the myth, the legend, the handsome cutie coming in. It's going to be Mihi. I can say that. I don't know why I'm allowed to say it. Join us here to talk about their victory. Mihi, you said you're going into this event, you know, with just having some fun, having a good time, trying to frag out and end your year on a high note. But how does it feel, man, to take the title here and to close out the year on such a good note?
It feels really good, to be honest. I don't know what to say right now.
Man.
Well, it's all smiles. Pyram, go ahead.
Yeah, dude, look, I can imagine, especially for you and the team, going to an org like Big Clan, right, that has a strong reputation as it is in esports, and there must have been that level of maybe disappointment not qualifying for the EMEA Championship. I'm sure that you'll be a little bit more relieved that you're ending the year under their name on a strong note with this PUBG Mobile Star Challenge win.
Yes, I'm really happy. We was kind of disappointed that we don't qualify for the EMEA, but I'm a person, I'm never giving up, and I know that we can do strong things, so I'm always looking forward and looking for the next achievement we can get.
I mean, first off, congratulations, right? I talked about it earlier already. I love the fact that you guys stayed together. And personally, I feel like we need more, what's the word? Like perseverance and positivity in the scene. So, like, as a team that went through a rough patch, is there any words that you want to say to other players of this community to maybe encourage them?
I want to say, take your time. It's always hard, and you will always have an up and down, but the key is stay together and keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very good point. I think a lot of teams out there, when there's any sort of frustration or they don't have the result they expect or want to achieve, they end up just breaking up and saying, all right, I'm just going to find a new team. So definitely glad to see you guys sticking around and hope to see you guys doing even better next year. But I want to say this as my camera freezes because I'm in shock. What do you want to say to your fans out there who were supporting you and watching you?
I want to say thank you very much for always supporting us. I really appreciate it. It's really nice, and I hope you gonna support us in next year as well.
Yeah. Well, no.
And
Pyram,
also,
that's it. Let's let him get out of here. Let him celebrate. They just took the victory. Okay, no, go ahead. Ask a quick question because my camera died again. Oh, Pyram, I was fixing my camera. I thought you were gonna ask a question there, so I guess I'll continue. Thank you so much, Pyram. You had your chance. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. My camera's dead again, but you know what? Get out of here, go celebrate, and I'll be back in Germany soon. So I'll be looking forward to the time.
Oh man, but like, you know, it's amazing with regards to what Big Clan have been able to achieve, guys, and the fact that they've been able to come back into this end of this year with a massive amount of achievement and success. I know you're still here, Mihi, so also like you, Beast and Swave, you go back like a long time. How does it feel to kind of win what is overall, despite the crazy format, the crazy prize pool, pretty big tournament with those guys?
It's a really, really good feeling because it was always our dream to play together since a long time, and now it finally worked and we improved. Even though we had a bad start in the PMPL finals, and that was the end of the year for us, but this is a better end with the Star Challenge champion title.
Amazing.
All right, well, Mihi, now definitely get out of here. Go celebrate, go have a good time. Congratulations to you guys once again for taking the title, for taking it home. Such a great way to end the year, and we appreciate you coming on the show to have a quick little chat with us.
No problem.
I think what's funny, guys, about Mihi is the first time I really heard about him during PMPL Season 1 this year. It was, I believe, Banks bringing up the fact that we were wondering, like, why is he not in the match in this one? As my camera dies again, it's just so excited. Why is he not participating in this match?
Hey man,
we found out later.
Can't deal with the heat, right? You know, the heat and the craziness of what's going on. But you can look, indeed, like the fact that he kind of touched upon what you were saying, Jason, that in PMPL Season 1, he was working in the morning, coming home, sometimes having to stop on his way home to play PMPL games, and that perseverance, that drive, that will to succeed is a big part of why I know that I'm happy, you're happy, and so many others are so happy to see Big come out on top of this PUBG Mobile Star Challenge. 569 points. Nice.
And Team Unique, of course, we have to celebrate how they played this game. I mean, I want to kind of find out for some stats, Imperium, like the way that they played this whole tournament. If it translates to the usual point system, right, how well would they do? I think they would still do amazing.
I also have to give a massive amount of props to Team Unique, right? They were arguably the most consistently performing team across this tournament. Day 1, they had 3 fantastic results. They got a chicken dinner. Day 2, they followed up with a number of good results and another chicken dinner. They just failed at the last hurdle, which is of course a major shame, Jason.
Yeah, well, we've seen that Big is the champion there, but we don't know how much money they've won just yet. Let's take a look at all the other countdowns at the moment, how much the rest of the team go ahead and play with. Actually, we're going to find out right now. They get 9,300 or 9,400 on top of what they've already been able to maintain throughout the entire event. So we're looking at around, what, 11,000 bucks? Not a bad way to end up here.
$11,650 to be exact, Jason. That's a nice number.
I mean, like, what would you spend on? Like, I feel like there's a lot of self-investment or just like celebration or whatnot. That's just for them to, find out. I think this is just a huge boost, like, for that team, right? Like, he said it already. He said, this is actually a perfect way to end the year. I think this is what we love to hear. The narration from these players are huge. We've got some of these teams, let's not forget, they still got PMGC to come. They do not have to focus on the things that went bad. Maybe they just need to find that narration, that right mindset to use what happened in the PMSC and even bring themselves further for the remainder of the year.
Oh, at least every team will be going home with money. You can see here, for instance, Navi going home with 2190. It gets split between their team. Honestly, and the way I kind of want to end off the show today is talking about how much fun this event was. How cool it was to have a change in format in terms of points, also change in how the prize pool works. It was really a nice breath of fresh air, and it was really exciting the whole way through.
I think it's something that should be done more often. I know this was definitely inspired by Squid Games, but I think it gives, and it might add a little bit more pressure to the teams, but I think it's also healthy to know that you start off with this amount of money and that the only way you're going to drop down is from your poor performances, right? So to me, absolutely love this format. The kills were definitely crazy, but prize pool, absolutely loved it.
I mean, gentlemen, this day and age, we get to enjoy this only because we understand inspiration, creativity, and all that stuff. So we've got this format here. These teams can actually find their own way to enjoy the game. We've got so many modes in PUBG Mobile, and then we have so many games as well. So many ways to enjoy your time with your friends, to build that team synergy, and maybe sometime, someday, that is the magic recipe to see the secret, the best team in our region or even in the world someday.
Well, really quickly, gentlemen, because we're about to end off the show completely, I want to give you two a quick little chance to give any shout-outs or any final thoughts here before we close this one out. Imperium, go ahead and start.
Thanks to everybody for tuning in across the countries, across the regions, and supporting PUBG Mobile Esports. You saw the PGC 2020 be nominated for Game Awards. PMGC 2021 is on the way, and just thank you for tuning in and supporting the teams. It's amazing to see.
Tarzan.
And I feel like I've said enough of what I want to see, who is seeing the things I want to promote and be an advocate of. But have loads of fun. Always stay safe. Hope that all of you can find some joy in things. Be thankful at all time, and just. Yeah, like of course, thanks to these two beautiful gentlemen as well as my first time on the desk, of course, production team as well, and all the players, of course. We had a buttload of fun.
Okay, well, obviously, I got to give a big shout out as well to Span Cargo and Copter for bringing you all the action, watching at home, and of course, Star Ladder for putting on this amazing event, the PMSC Europe 2021. That's going to do it here for the show, but remember, as Cormac said before, PMGC 2021 is kicking off in just a few days' time. It is in 9 days, and the best teams from around the world, the 40 best teams, will be going head-to-head in their own respective conferences to find out who's going to take the lion's share of the $6 million on the line. Thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you soon for some more PUBG Mobile action.
Stars are back on the battlegrounds. This is PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Europe. 16 best European teams will compete for a prize pool of $42,000. The tournaments will be held from November 19th till November 21st. Save the date and join us at PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Europe. See you on the battlegrounds.